Hey, everybody. How are you? Hey, Nina. Hey, Eve. I put my email in the chat if you need it. If you did email me, I haven't checked it yet. Hey, Connie. Hey, Chloe Joe. Oh, you changed the picture. I like that. Hey, Jameson. I think you changed yours too. Hey, New Zealand Mysteries. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Big Al. Hey, Devil-Eyed Elvis. Hey, Jen. So, I've been working on... Hey, Scotty. I've been working on a video. Have any of y'all followed the Pike Town massacre? So, it's a crazy story, and the one brother is on trial right now. It was in Ohio, I think Pike Town, Ohio, or Pike County. Yeah, Pike County massacre, Pike Town massacre, Pike County massacre. I'm working on like a whole video to drop, but in case anyone followed that, I thought maybe I'd bring it up today and see any of you guys. Hey Jeremiah, hey Britt. See if you guys have followed it all. And so it's about this girl, Hannah May Roden. She dated this guy, Jake Wagner. It's a wild story, so bear with me while I piece this together for you. She was like 13 when she met him. He was 18, I believe. They get together. She gets pregnant at the age of 15, and then he starts getting aggressive with her. He chokes her or something. She leaves. She gets another boyfriend. She gets pregnant by this other guy, but her and the guy Jake have a baby together named Sophie. Well, Jake's family is very, very like, what's it called? Protective of the family, and they want the baby Sophia in their custody, so they send her custody papers, and they try and get the Aussie True Crime. They try and get the baby or whatever, and then so Jake, his brother George, was married to this girl Tabitha. She had a similar custody nightmare with the family. They threw the mom. They got Jake's mom threw like a 2x4 at the girl, and it turned into a nightmare. Well, anyway, the Tabitha texts Hannah, and she's like, "Listen, do not sign anything. You'll never see the baby. You know what I mean? Don't fall for it." And then Hannah says, "Well, not over my dead body." So the Wagners, the whole family, start planning to kill Hannah and her family, like her whole family. So, hold on. God darn it. Why is it doing this? Let me mess with the plug real quick. All right, I'm gonna get my camera back. Hold on. All right, should work now. Okay. Hey, K-pop dummy. Hey, Lori. Hey, Valerie Downs. Anyway, so they get in this huge fight, like big family fight, and then the Wagners plan to kill the whole family. Now, Hannah's family all live on pretty much the same property, most of them. They had like they owned a big piece of property with like 3 trailer homes on it, and they all lived in different homes. Now, the mom and dad, Hannah May's mom and dad, were split, but they were reconciling, so they were living in separate campers, but on the same land. Well, they went and killed Hannah May. They killed Hannah May's brother, 2 brothers, one of the brothers' fiancés, Hannah Mae's mom, Hannah Mae's dad, the dad's brother, and the dad's cousin. 8 people, I think, in total they killed. So the mom helped them all plan it. The Wagner mom, Angela, she helped them plan the murder. And then George, Jake, and Billy, the dad, all went and killed them all. So now George is on trial. I've been following a little bit, but I think it'd be like a really cool case if you guys want to talk about it. But I was just watching Popcorn Planet. Did anybody watch that? Zanime was on there, and now Rylan Upchurch is claiming that Popcorn Planet wouldn't let him on panel, but Popcorn said that he gave him a chance. So I don't know. Somebody's lying, but yeah, I'll probably drop that video. Probably like this week sometime. I'm working on it now. I wanted to drop it tonight, but it's not done, and I guess we could talk about, the stuff on the YouTubes tonight if you want. And if anyone wants to come up and talk. Hey, Gregory Worth. There's lots of people from Tennessee, I've noticed. Hey, Christina. So, hold on. I wanted to show you guys this video real quick. So, Psychobabble was on last night. And I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was a mess. But there's a video where Upchurch's mom comes on and they get in this huge argument. I gotta find the timestamp though, because I'm not exactly sure what the timestamp is, but oh my goodness. You haven't seen Indiana? Oh, I know a lot of people in Indiana too. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find the timestamp. I'm not sure exactly the timestamp, but I'm gonna find it because I know there's a big fight with them. It's gotta be this one. Hold on. Psychobabble? It's just called Psychobabble Rap, I think. Psychobabble's channel. I'll find it though. Hold on. So she comes up and no, this isn't it. Hold on. They got in a whole ass argument, which I kind of feel. I got where they're both coming from. I'm not really picking a side on like they both had their points. Oh, this might be it. Hold on. Yeah. Here it is. There's Patty. So Upchurch's mom has a channel in case you guys haven't followed, but hold on, I'm gonna play it for you real quick.
Area, and she simply wanted to make a damn video like everybody else. She looked on Google Maps, saw the.
Here we go.
But
all right, so
it just breaks my heart because I feel like
that's
a
Patty.
lot of this anger and a lot of the things that you're feeling are really coming.
That's Rylan Upchurch's mom,
and it literally is about to bring me in tears listening to you talk about your son. And you just said that.
Oh well, let me give a little rundown real quick. So, Psychobabble, he is a fan of Rylan Upchurch's music, and I believe that him and his kid had like a bond over him, I guess. And his kid passed, I think, from an OD, but I'm not totally sure. This is what I remember correctly. And she basically comes on. Jameson sent me the link at like 3 a.m. and I was up to like 5 o'clock in the morning watching this. Hold on.
it's no reflection on the parent what the child does, but you're actually saying that very opposite thing about me, saying that I can control my son who is a grown man.
I'm not
When
asking
you
to
said it's
control
not
him.
your
I'm
fault.
asking you to
Thumbs
talk
up.
to
Are you
him.
watching football?
So how is it my fault what my son does if you don't agree with it? All I wanted to stop in here and say is that when I hear you talk about your son, it literally breaks my heart. So I just want you to know that I'm really sorry if you're hurting, because I don't know what I would do if I lost one of my children. And I
How would
can't
you like
imagine
it
the
if they were
pain that
saying
you're
your
going
child
through.
was fake? How would you like it if let me ask you something, Patty, while you're here. Just for a second. Let's assume for a second something bad happened to Ryan. How would you feel if Eminem went on MTV and said you did it for money? How would
People
that
say
make
that
you
about us
feel?
every day. I'm used to it. I'm used to people saying bad things about my family. Now, I know you're
These
probably
people
not
aren't,
used to it because you're not in the light like my family
with all
is.
due respect, these people that lost this child are not celebrities. They're not
Sweetie.
used to having millions of people coming at them.
I think they both had good points. Like, I I get what they were both saying. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't really say I get they were making both good points in this one.
And
saying
I
they
get that.
hosted a celebrity with a massive voice and a massive. You hear how crazy these people are, Patty. They believe this shit.
Okay, are
They
you gonna
actually
allow me
believe
to
that
talk?
Tony was going to go
Because you're
gangbang.
expecting
this
me
girl.
to control someone.
You
You're
made a
expecting me to
video
control someone.
supporting
How
it.
crazy does that
You
sound?
made-
Hey, Al. Oh, it's not echoing, is it? Sorry, I'm not muting. I didn't even realize. Was it echoing, Al?
I didn't hear it echoing.
Okay, hold on. All right, Lori, so all right, let me break this down for anyone who doesn't know. So this guy right here in this corner, his name is Psychobabble Rap. He just popped up recently with this case. He was all right, so Rylan Upchurch is the country rap artist, the popular country rap artist that's jumping into true crime. Well, he was a fan of his, the guy in the upper right corner, but he's upset with what he's doing with the case. So he's doing videos, calling Rylan Upchurch out, but at the same time, it's really strange. He's like calling him out, and then in other ones, he's like sticking up for him and playing his music. I understand where he stands too. I guess I think he's struggling with some like internal struggle right now because Psychobabble, this guy right here, him and his son,
he definitely has something going on.
Yeah, they had like a real close bond over Rylan Upchurch. They both liked his music. And then his son passed. And then I think it's like hurting him because he looked at Ryan and like such a big, like a big light. Yeah, he got mad at Zav for giving Ryan time on her panel and then started doing lives because he's upset with Ryan, pretty much. But like, I think hate the artist, not the art. Yeah. Well, I think that's like, one of those things where you like someone, like you like a creator a lot or like a musician, and then they do something that you can't agree with, and then it kind of like skews your image of them. You know what I mean? It's a tough position to be in. I feel like, I don't know, but I think it's hard for him because he and his son, bonded over that, and then they admired him, and then
But Psychobabble didn't flip his shit until Ryan started talking about Kiely not being real.
Yeah.
Up until that day, he 100% backed everything he said. Well, 90% of what he said.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Castle Black. I agree. I agree with him. Like, I agree with both of them at this point. With everyone covering his case, why is he pissed at Ryan? Well, because Ryan... All right, so he got mad at Ryan when Ryan started saying that Kiely wasn't real. So Ryan was basically saying, like, that Kiely is this girl, Callie. And then he put up pictures of this girl, Callie, some random minor on TikTok, because... All right. So you know that picture, I don't know if you've seen it, Lori, but of the 3 girls in the car, and everyone said it was from the party? Well, that was from this app. and they were like FaceTiming, I guess. And there was a little tag in the corner of the girl's profile, which Ryan got that tag, and then he found her on TikTok. But that wasn't from the party, supposedly. Yeah. So that picture wasn't from the party, and I understand how he found that and maybe what led him there, but he thought the Cali girl was Kylie, I guess, or I don't know. I don't really know where he was going with it, but he was saying that Kylie wasn't real for a bit. But then he admitted that he did believe Kylie was real. I don't really know where he stands on it now, but it's all over the place. Yeah, I think it's this, like, he doxed some minors and he called some people out who didn't do anything wrong, and I think that really upset Psychobabble. So Patty goes on Psychobabble's panel last night to try and explain to him, and I think she came like in a nice way, and he just got really upset and started going off on her. But
I did a video supporting it.
He's my son.
Defending it. You went on Johnny Gobble's podcast and defended it.
Johnny Gobble is a friend of ours now. It's called
You went on
forgiveness.
his
You should
podcast
try it, sweetie.
And
You should try
defended
it.
what Ryan
I
is
agree.
saying,
You can't
slandering
control your
innocent people
kids.
that didn't do
You
anything
can't,
wrong.
like, I don't know what there's no getting through to this guy, but people are expecting me to take control of a
Do you think
31-year-old
this is
man and
damaging Ryan's
manipulate
career?
his
Do you
belief
think it's
system,
damaging his
to
career?
manipulate his free will. And
Do you
these are
think it's
people who are
damaging?
supposed to believe in God.
Do-
Where's
Weren't
God,
you doing
guys? Where
spirit
is he?
boxes?
You are telling me I'm supposed to control a grown
I'm not
man.
asking you to
You
control
guys
it.
are preaching on a
I'm
soapbox,
asking you
but
to
you're
say
not
you don't
living
condone
up to
it.
your standards.
I'm asking you
There's
to
a
do
whole
it's probably a T-Rex because she says that I have Jurassic Park in my house. I don't know does anyone know who this guy is? The guy in the middle? I don't know who he is. I think he's just like maybe a Creek Squad guy, or, I don't know.
Well, that guy in the middle says some pretty horrible stuff after Ryan's mom leaves.
That guy?
Yeah, this whole thing goes so far south. It's not even funny.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I only saw.
You have no idea then.
Wait, is this the one where Glare ended up being on it, or is this a different one?
No, what's her name?
Because I watched the one with Glare last night at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then
I
I
will
seen this clip, but I
tell
didn't
you
see
her
the whole
name, but she was in on stream, I think on Brittany's stream. Hold on one second, I'll find her. Perplexed QT.
Laura.
Yeah,
Probably
she
Probably
jumps up
Queen.
on this and goes wild.
Really?
It
wait,
goes off
she
the
goes-
rails
Perplex goes wild on who?
on
Patty?
everybody after Patty leaves.
Well, now
It
really
goes
gotta
totally
watch it.
south and goes into the Tony Dodge gangbang thing, and it's all about gangbanging and how it's all these guys are like, it's not rape if a woman wants it, and all. It just went south.
It's not. Oh my gosh. Well,
It
why
was
would they
really
even talk about that?
I don't know how the transition happened, but I came in the middle of that conversation. I missed this part,
I'm
I
not
didn't
buying
see this
into the
till this morning.
bullshit.
and I was like, whoa, holy cow.
That's insane. I didn't see, like, I didn't see all this go down. I saw a clip of it, so I just wanted to watch it. But hold up, all right, let me play.
What I wanted to get from you is for you to say, I want you to just be clear. We don't support this narrative.
I've said I've said openly that I never thought that I believed that Kylie Rodney was real. See,
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Let me just ask you a question because I appreciate you coming in. I just want to ask you a question.
See, I don't. He's going to mute
Do
me.
you think that 3 YouTubers killed this girl?
I don't follow true crime because that
That ain't
depresses
what I asked
the
you. I
F
didn't
out
ask
of
you if you
me. I
follow
don't
true crime.
follow true
Just your
crime.
personal opinion based on your son's investigation.
I don't
Did 3
even follow
YouTubers
my
go
son's
kill this girl?
investigation.
Did a
Do you
girl
not
in the military?
understand that I don't follow true crime? You want me to talk shit about my son?
You
I'm not
follow
going to
your
talk shit about my
son.
son.
You
No,
follow
I'm
What
a
I am
mom.
going to
I
say that I'm
understand
very
you.
sorry for your loss with your son, and I'm sorry that you are taking your hurt and you're projecting it, and attacking my son
I'm not
because
projecting
you're
anything.
hurting.
It was 18 months ago. I'm doing good. I'm doing fine.
That's very recent. That's
Oh.
very recent.
That's very recent.
And
What I'm trying to tell you is your son's words are falling on some people that have very low IQ. And they're believing this rhetoric.
You
He's
seem to be
picking
hung up
pictures
on
out.
IQ.
He's picking pictures randomly.
Why?
Of random
Why
people.
are you so hung up on?
He doxed.
I agree, Jameson.
IQ?
I agree. I don't think it was okay for her to bring up that he like lost his kid. Like that was. I feel like she shouldn't have went there like at all. Like I could see both their points. Like I understand what she's saying. Like she can't control a grown man, but he's saying like you're his manager. You know what I mean? Someone
Yeah,
came
but at
in
the same
here.
time, Psychobabble seems more concerned about Ryan's career than what he's saying.
Yeah.
He brings that up in multiple streams about Ryan's career. Well, are you really mad at what he
Yeah.
said, or are you worried that you're not going to get any more music? Which is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just feel like that he shouldn't, like, she shouldn't have brought that up for sure. But I understand her point where she's like, I can't control a grown man. He's 31 years old. Like, he needs to control himself. But if she is his manager, she can, you know.
She's not his manager.
Oh, she's not? Okay.
No, I've emailed his manager. I've talked to his manager. That's not his manager.
Gotcha.
Hacker. They wouldn't.
Yes.
Have,
They were smarter than they would know it was fake.
a little girl, a middle schooler,
I don't
who just happened to look
understand.
like Kylie. That was her worst crime. She looks like Kylie. And
That's
now a
when I got
celebrity,
mad. Yeah.
a massive celebrity said she was fake and she got attacked. And then a girl and her family get rescued from Ukraine. And a celebrity goes on YouTube and says that they murdered a child. It's a big deal. And he's going to get
What about
canceled
what you're
for it.
saying about me?
The media is watching,
What
Patty.
about what you're
They're
talking
watching.
about me? And I have nothing to do with any of this. And you're telling
Are you
people
not
that
his
I do
manager?
drugs.
Are you not his
Sweetie,
manager?
I think you need to seek help.
If you guys are
I
messing with
really,
tarot cards,
think
you've
you
let
need to seek
Satan in
help,
your house.
because what I was
How do you
hearing
go
here
from
just a minute
feeling
ago was just
sympathy
a
to malice?
complete shit show and a lot of hate and a lot of what
Okay.
sounded like some
I'm glad you
serious-
stopped
serious
in. I'm going to
issues.
leave
It's
this with
funny
you.
because a lot of
When he
people
gets
who claim that
canceled,
people are on
When he gets
drugs
canceled for
are
it, don't
usually
you
the
dare
ones that are
blame me.
doing drugs.
Don't you blame me. I was the one
Yeah.
that tried to stop it.
I'm going to pray for you, and I pray that you feel better.
I
And
pray
I'm
for
sorry
you
for the
too.
loss of your son, sweetie.
I pray for you
May
too.
God
You go
bless
burn them
you,
tarot cards.
and
Go burn them
I
tonight.
just hope you all have a blessed night.
All right.
Patty, have
You
a
get
blessed
to sleep
night.
now. Your
Bye,
house.
guys.
Good night.
What a
As you
goof.
see, she won't say it's wrong. And that's my point.
No.
No, yeah, nobody will deplatform him. Nobody will
I
stand up.
actually-
That's
I'm
why I
glad you're
commend you
so
so
sure.
much, Psycho.
You're
Because
so
you,
sure. How
Looking
much
at
degree
his
you
mom,
got?
though, it would
I bet
be
you.
Yeah, she shouldn't have. She shouldn't have went there. Wait, did
Yeah,
she come back?
I don't think she should have went there, but I think at the same time, I can see where someone's gonna lash out when on multiple streams he's telling people that she's on drugs, and
Wait, who's telling people that she's on drugs?
Psychobabble was telling people on his stream the night before that she was on drugs.
That Patty's on drugs?
Yes, that's why she.
Oh,
that's what she was
cool.
saying. Back it up.
Good night, Jan. Good night, Jameson. That's not cool. Hold on. I'm trying to fast forward to see. I don't see what's her face on there.
Yeah, I don't think she shows herself, or maybe she did. Yeah, she
Oh
did.
wait, Claire is on this one. Is this the one I watched last night? Oh, is that Laura right there?
Yep, it is.
Oh, is that why Laura did a whole ass video?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
looking
why. And
at
I watched hers this morning
Oh my goodness.
or this afternoon. I forget. All these days are.
Ryan,
blending together.
I believe that Upchurch is spewing crazy. I'm with you on that.
Well, the tone of his stream tonight is completely different. He didn't even lash out after Popcorn wouldn't let him on the stream. It was anime.
He put
He
up
just-
a community post.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he just started the show with the only thing he said was "fuck Tony Dodge," and then they went right into talking about the case.
Gotcha. Have y'all followed? I might show you guys about the Pike County after this. I just want to see what they say, and then I could probably play some of my video, but I feel like it's not long enough
Tagging
yet.
each other.
I'm not trying to out myself, but I do know that.
Like
Jesus.
back in the day when they called people gangbangers, they wouldn't.
I don't know if I want to show him talking about gangbangers and stuff, but hold on.
It kind of shows you how classless Psychobabble is, though.
Oh,
And
I
people
know
that
what
are
I
on the
wanted to show
panel.
you guys too. Hold on. So it's gonna take me a minute to find it because Nerdy posts so much. But Nerdy Addict has been talking to locals in Truckee. Yeah, I can.
Yay, Brittany's coming.
Was it the same night that Zanime's mom came on? I don't know. I think that was a different night, Castle Black. For sure. So Nerdy's going live tomorrow. I follow him on Twitter like religiously. And he's been talking to locals there. So apparently they're gonna have like a big stream about what they've learned. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Refollow.
Yeah,
I think we got a super Brittany.
Look, Ryan, I will never say that I believe any of Upchurch's stuff. I don't believe any of it. I just wanted to see what went down. I don't believe
Because-
any of his crazy, for sure. I will say that.
Well, I do think that it was blatantly disrespectful how that Psychobabble dude treated his mom, though. I didn't like that at all. That she was so kind and
She was,
heartfelt.
that's what I'm saying. I'll give her that. She came in trying to make peace in the beginning, and she really seemed like she meant well. I'm not sticking up for Ryan at all, believe me, but I agree with her take on she can't control a 31-year-old man, you know?
Y'all seen his videos. You think he's going to let anybody tell him what to do?
No.
No.
Yeah, I need to make a ticker down on the bottom of the screen. I do not believe any of Rylan Upchurch's theories. But I felt bad though that she came at him like that too, but he came at her as well. So I don't know. I just I'm kind of in the middle on that.
When any animal is cornered, they will lash out.
And Big Al, you think you'd be tired of hearing my voice by now?
Hell
We've
no.
been running all day.
No. I'm not.
I agree. Ryan
I think
has
you're
a large
extremely intelligent,
following.
Brittany, and I enjoy talking to you.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. And same here.
All right, let me see if I can find this.
Oh, you got some new stuff?
Well,
Nerdy
he's been
Annie.
talking to locals, and he's the one who said Ryan's mom has the same hurt bumps anime has. So what the fuck?
Hello, Miss Connie. Good to see you.
She does have a mole right there. So I mean, it's kind of fucked up that he did say that about Zanime. I agree with you there, Ryan. I'll give you that.
Hey, Ryan.
He posts so much. It's going to take me forever to find it. All right, so Nerdy. I've already said this on Brit's stream, I'm pretty sure, but if you haven't heard, he's been talking to locals, and there's been 3 separate tips about Boca. Like 3 different people gave the tip about Boca. So now I'm really thinking that maybe that the roadside assistant guy ain't lying.
Wow.
It's hard
I
to find.
never thought he was.
Yeah. Me
Oh,
either.
this is the guy that you were talking about, Jameson. I'll have to cover it. The 4-year-old little boy named Lucian Munguia has been missing since Saturday evening and almost.
No.
Is he from Truckee?
So
But it
Parker
said-
covered that today or tonight. Also,
Lucian case?
yes.
Let me just look it up real quick. Is he from Truckee?
I have no idea.
What did it say his name was? I can't even find his name when I Google it. That's sad.
He's
Lucian
beautiful.
Munguia.
Look at him. He's so pretty. I said pretty. He's so pretty. God.
Find out where it is. Sarg Hubbard Park. Where's that at? Washington. Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's up there. That's sad. Go to the TikTok. Which one? Only 2 hours from you, Nina? No, I just wanted to see where he was from. Oh, all right. Hold on. Let me stop my screen so y'all can't see my messages in chat.
You know, when it comes to the little kids, it really gets me.
It gets me too. That's a sin.
What'd you think of that picture I sent you, Brittany?
Oh, I haven't gotten to look at it yet, but I'm going to.
Mysteriously, Brittany is 100% backing Zanime.
Yeah. You know what? I just wish people would realize that I'm allegedly with Brittany.
Right, and that's why I sent it to you. I was like, oh boy.
Cappy is doing the most saving. Oh my god.
Totally different. I said totally. I'm tired. We are two totally different people.
Well, Popcorn did call Zanime a liar at the end of the stream. But he said that her serving in the military washed it out.
Oh, there we go. All right, give me a second. All right, let me share. Hold on. Why can't I hear it? Oh, duh.
James Munguia, and he's been doing and listen to this. This is 4-year-old Lucian James Munguia, and he's been missing from Yakima, Washington since September 10th. That evening, at around 7:15 p.m., Lucian and his siblings, along with their parents, were at Sarge Hubbard Park. Lucian was rolling down a grassy hill with his older brother when his dad quickly went back to the car, which was parked right in front of the playground, to change his youngest child's diaper. When he returned, Lucian was nowhere to be found. After searching frantically for 15 minutes, he called 911 to report Lucian missing. This was at 7:30 p.m. The Yakima police came right away, and more than 100 search and rescuers began looking for little Lucian, but there was no sign of him. This is especially troubling because Lucian is autistic and has limited verbal communication. In the now 4 days that he's been missing, the Yakima police, as well as 6 other counties and even the U.S. Air Force, have thoroughly searched Sarge Hubbard Park, any businesses nearby, which included a Walmart, the Yakima Greenway, which is a trail that spans over 20 miles, multiple homeless encampments, and multiple bodies of water. This includes 2 ponds at the park, a lake, and the Yakima River, which is also extremely close to the park. Authorities have brought in bloodhounds, cadaver dogs, have used drones, underwater drones, ATVs, dive teams, and have searched by boat and helicopter. But absolutely no trace of Lucian has been found. He was missing for 15 minutes. Authorities checked security footage from nearby businesses and somehow determined that Lucian left the park alone and walked south and east. Because of this, authorities do not suspect foul play, but it's now been 4 days and Lucian has still not been found, so anything is a possibility. The area Lucian went missing in isn't the safest neighborhood, and there have been reports of a creepy man at the park earlier the day Lucian disappeared who followed a young boy into the bathroom. But I'm not sure if this has ever been confirmed or if the police have looked into it. We just want to bring Lucian home safe. He was last seen wearing a long-sleeved blue shirt with a shark on it, blue shorts, and black Skechers. He has long black hair and brown eyes. As I mentioned before, Lucian is autistic and has limited verbal communication, but according to his mom Sandra, he will respond to his name or if you say, quote, "Do you want to go bye-bye in mommy's new car?" End quote. Unfortunately, YPD officially announced they'll be scaling back their search efforts, so it really comes down to us and the Yakima community to find Lucian. If you were at Sarge Hubbard Park on September 10th and took any photos possibly showing Lucian, please email them to yp@yakimawa.gov. Absolutely nothing is too small. There is a Facebook page tracking updates, and a GoFundMe is set up for Lucian's parents to help continue funding the search. That's linked in my bio if you'd like to donate or possibly share. Please help bring Lucian home.
So he walked off on his own, huh? That's a sin. I remember they had a story like that with this kid in Australia. I wonder if you remember this, New Zealand Mysteries. And it was not that, it was like last year. He like walked off and they had like everyone searching for him and he was missing for like 5 or 6 days, maybe even longer than that. And they found him in this like little puddle, like in that, like on a cliff in Australia, just like splashing water in his mouth. I don't know how this kid survived, but it was like most amazing. Shut up, Matt. It was the saddest thing ever. Like, but they found him, and it was like huge in Australia. They were so excited that they found this kid. I was even like so into it. I think it was like near the time where that other girl got pulled from the tent. Didn't they find her too, or somebody stole her from the tent and she was at some guy's house? That was wild. Well, oh, that's near Union, you said. Well, that's sad that he's not getting a lot of attention. Well, at least I get to play it a little bit. I might take you down. I might take that creepy doll guy. The guy who took the girl out of the tent. Is that who you're talking about? I can't find Nerdy's tweet. There you are.
Sorry.
It's all
I
right.
threw myself off like a dummy.
All right. I can't find Nerdy's tweet, but basically he tweets like 1,000 times a day and I can't find it. But basically he's talking to locals. It sounds like to me that there was kids at this party whose parents are law enforcement.
Yes,
And
Ross's parents are for sure. Mags.
yeah. And people, I guess locals even, feel like that they are trying to like cover things up purposely.
Wow.
Because, well, supposedly that there was like a cleanup at the party that we've been hearing about.
Yep.
Working on VR games. I like VR. I have a VR thing. I like Phasmophobia. I haven't gotten to play it on VR yet, but I'm going to. But I'm going to be terrified out of my mind when I do. But if anyone's gaming in here, y'all should play with us. He didn't try to stop anything. He admitted to talking to Taylor Lorenz, who literally gets paid. I know who talked to Taylor Lorenz. I can't stand that lady. That's the lady I did a whole live about on the Johnny Depp thing. That lady, so she hates YouTubers. Well, you know, there's like a big battle between YouTubers and like journalists because journalists are YouTubers are like taking the job of journalists. And they like battle it out, and Taylor Lorenz did this whole ass article coming at Umbrella Guy and saying that she reached out to him for comment when she didn't, and it was a big mess. But I don't like that.
Taylor's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Did you follow that?
I know who she is, and she's
done a lot of
trying to get people canceled. That's what she does.
Yeah, she tries to get YouTubers canceled. She hates YouTubers because she tries to make YouTubers out to be like people who just hop on things like for the money and don't actually like do the work and care about the stuff, which isn't true. Like,
well, why does she do her job if it's not for the money?
exactly. But she tried to do that with the Johnny Depp case. She said like that. So she was coming at that umbrella guy, saying that umbrella guy only cared about like he only cared about not the case, but like talking about Amber Heard and not covering the case. And here he watched the entire like court thing completely, and even Emily Baker too, she was saying that there were just people hopping on it that didn't even care, making videos. Emily Baker is a whole ass lawyer and covered it from the beginning to end and gave everyone commentary, and she came at everybody, and she's totally pro Amber Heard, which, no offense, if anyone's pro Amber Heard, I can't stand her. But yeah, doxing people and then crying when she gets doxed. Who is she doxing? All right, well, hey Queen. Tug is a friend and one of the best dudes out there. I love Tug. I loved his coverage on Johnny Depp, and I was cheering him on totally the whole way. I can't stand Amber Heard, so I was loving the big battle between Tug and Amber Heard, to be honest. Emily Baker wasn't. No, I didn't mean Emily Baker. I meant Taylor Lorenz was pro Amber Heard, and she was coming at like Emily Baker and Popcorn Planet and Tug and all them, even though. Oh, thanks, Queen. You're the best girl.
Is it Queen?
Yeah, she's in chat. Queen Bee has a good channel too. Make sure you sub to Queen. Hold on.
Hey, girl. Wait a minute. And who'd you say Baker again?
Emily D. Baker. You know Emily Baker, the like awesome lawyer on YouTube. The common conspiracy killer.
What's going on?
Oh,
we just changed our name, have we?
Yeah,
Conspiracy killer.
I was told to.
Common conspiracy killer. I love it. So have you? Hold on, let me put this in chat real quick.
He even changed his picture.
We have officially been on panel all day.
I don't know where my picture is.
Stop reminding me, Brittany. I've shirked about half my responsibilities today.
That's devotion, Big Al.
Oh yeah, I got my other because I'm on my phone. That's why it's the other picture.
You got devotion and addiction mixed up.
So since I have you all up here, you want to go down the Pike County Massacre Road with me? I'll show you all about it.
Yeah, let's take a ride.
All right. I'm going to drop a whole video on it, and I'm excited about it. So I'm going to get y'all excited about it.
Y'all click that thumbs up and subscribe to Kate. You guys, we got to get to 1,000. I think we could do it in less than a week. I know we can.
It's been climbing like super fast lately, so I won't be shocked. Hopefully. I hope so. Hey, Zoe.
That second 500 is going to be swift. Watch.
All right, let me show you guys. All right.
I could probably bring it on to draw and get you there. I just have to give away a free picture.
Yeah, I'll draw. I'll give away a picture too. I can send somebody a picture.
I haven't been on in like 3 months, but I could probably pop on a draw with you and get you there.
All right, so that's Hannah. This is her mom and dad, Dana and Chris. This is her brother, young Christopher. This is her other brother, Clarence, aka Frankie, and his fiance, Hannah, as well. And then this is Christopher's brother. These people were all killed. And this is their cousin.
Wait a minute, I think I know this case.
Yeah, you probably do. It's huge. Like, well, all right. So,
is it a big custody battle?
Yes.
I know this case.
Yep. Mega Point is forever in her vocabulary. Yes, Mega Point.
This one's a doozy. I guess I just didn't recognize the name when you told me about it, but now I'm seeing the pictures.
Yeah, they have babies, but none of the babies were killed. They were actually like, I don't think the babies were killed, right? I
No,
think
but
the
wasn't
babies
like
were-
the 13 and 14-year-olds or something? There's
Yeah.
like 2 teenagers.
Well, this one just got his permit. He was young, and she was pretty young too, and they were killed. But all right, so these two right here had just had a young baby, and she was like breastfeeding at the time that she was killed, and it was like really sad because the baby was like, next to trigger warning. This is terrible, like it's a horrible story. So I'm just letting you all know there's gonna be lots of trigger warnings. I'm just gonna say it now. She was like breastfeeding
Look at
in
what
bed.
Matthew just said in the chat. Kate,
What?
look what Matthew said in the chat. You nasty. I earned those subs.
She did. She's been working hard. She's been working hard.
I'm sorry. I had to point that out.
Listen, don't be alarmed by Matt. It's just Matt's gonna come in here and make everyone think.
I got used to him.
Yeah. All right, hold up. Let me find. I do gotta hold on. I'll get you my Discord link real quick while I'm up here. I'll give you. I know I gotta update it, but here I'm gonna just share it in chat real quick while it's turning on. All right. So this one, Hannah, right here, she was dating this guy, Jake Wagner. All right. I'll show you. Wagner. I wish I could do. How do you do split screen, Al? How are you doing that? Where you like?
How was I doing a split screen?
Yeah, like how do I make it split screen where you
Just
can see two
double
things?
click the toolbar on your window and make the window smaller, and then bring up another window.
Oh, you did it like that. Okay, I
Yeah,
thought you had like
did
some
it.
kind of special like thing.
No,
on
no
it.
magic tools. I have magic tools, but it's you got to set it up ahead of time.
Now
before you
y'all
do
see
that.
why I get y'all to do the screen sharing. Matt has needs. Okay, devil eyed. Don't judge him. I'm
All right.
dead.
White people copy. All right. Look. I don't talk much in my Discord, but if a bunch of people come in, then I will love enjoying talking about cases. So if y'all want to join, we can talk about cases in there. I just don't have that many people in there right now. But if there's people in there, then I'm gonna have to split this up just so you guys can. Oh, what the heck? Why is this on that? Okay, here we go. Jake Wagner, George, Billy Wagner. All right. So, all right. Hannah, right here, was dating Jake. They met when she was 13. He was 18 at this fair. Jen, me too. Well, I'm making a video for it. Oh, the baby. So she was breastfeeding the baby, trigger warning, as she was killed. And the baby was like in between her and the mom, like covered in blood, trying to breastfeed. It was so sad. Like, ugh. George is on trial like right now. So I thought this would be a great time to talk about it. And I'm making a video. I'm just not done it yet. I would have dropped it tonight if I could, but. Well, sure, devil-eyed Elvis. I'd love to have some people. Send them my way.
Hey, Kate, is this the murder that happened after the people attended the Upchurch show?
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe it could be, but this happened in 2015.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know that. Well,
let me double check. I'm gonna jump on mute,
it's
but
called
I'm
the Pike
pretty
County
sure.
Massacre.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a video out about this family.
Mm.
I was trying to figure out where I recognized him from. I'm gonna look for it.
All right, so okay, you can set a permanent Discord link so it doesn't expire. It's a setting on the box. Oh, okay, I didn't know that it expired, or I wouldn't have done that. All right, so This is Angela. That's Jake's mom. That's Billy, the dad. And this is George, his brother. And these two met, Jake and Hannah. They met when she was 13 and he was 18 at a fair. And then they start dating. And she gets pregnant. And she's like 15 when she gets pregnant. And he's 20. And they wanted to get married, but her dad wouldn't let them get married. And till she turned 18. And they ended up getting like a tattoos on their permanent tattoos on their fingers. But they didn't get married yet. Then he started getting abusive. And he choked her out. And she left him. And then she started dating this other guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I will pull it up and find it out for you guys before.
Whenever you're ready for me to blow your brains off your shoulder, let me know and I'll share my screen. You're gonna shit.
All right. Well, let me explain this, and then you can share your screen. What a connection! Is there really a connection with this?
You gotta see it.
I swear to God, I had no idea there was a connection.
I couldn't figure out where I recognized him from, and I just, let me know when you're ready.
Of that? Well, all right, so she leaves, or they have a baby. They have Sophie, their baby. And she leaves him, and she tells her family, like, hey, he's beating me and whatever. And she gets pregnant by another guy. And she's, I don't know, I think she had just had the baby. I'm pretty sure they had just had the baby. It was only like, I don't remember if her baby was only a couple days old or if it was the other Hannah's, but one of the babies was only 5 days old. So, there you are. So, all right, so George, this guy right here, he had dated this woman, Tabitha, and they had a baby together named Bulvine. And they basically did this, like, their family did the same stuff to her where they were crazy and trying to, like, get custody of the child and trying to be all controlling and stuff. Angela threw a 2x4 at the girl. So Tabitha texts Hannah, and because they had just presented Hannah with custody papers saying that they wanted custody of the baby. Jake even told her, like, I'll take the baby by force. And Angela wanted Jake and Hannah's baby to call her mom. So they're very strange people. But they present her with custody papers, and she's like, no way. Tabitha messaged her and was like, listen, do not give this guy, is that what you're talking about? Tabitha messages Hannah. She's like, do not give him custody of this kid. Like, they're crazy. And then that's when they start planning. And the whole family, like all of them, start planning to kill their whole family. Now,
make sense.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so take me, you, Big Al, and Scott. You're not talking about one person making such a horrific decision. The whole ass family. There wasn't one person to say, maybe that's not a good idea.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It was meticulous planning. They even had like a murder truck, right? They got this special murder truck that they used to take to the thing, and they had like a secret hiding spot where they jumped out. They made silencers. So they Jake and George were really into like Boondock Saints. You know the movie Boondock Saints?
Yes.
It's a great movie, by the way. But you know how they make like the silencer. I think they made silencers. They Googled like how to make silencers like the Boondock Saints. They made all these good silencers.
If I ever get a terminal illness, I'm going to buy me a murder truck.
A murder truck?
Yeah, if I get a terminal illness, I'm going to buy a murder truck.
Hold on, I'm going to show you. I think I got some web captures where I can explain. Oh, why does it look like this? All right, wait. Evan Millward. Let me look up this guy, Evan. He's been covering the case, and he is really good with it. So give me 1 second. Can you explain? I was down like this giant rabbit hole last night over this.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's a crazy story. I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I just can't understand a whole family.
Yeah, the whole family. And then they all like kind of turned on each other pretty much.
When they got in trouble, is that what you mean? Like when they got in trouble, they ratted each other out? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Jake did a plea deal and the mom did a plea deal, and now they're really, I mean, they're pretty smart, like getting the way they're getting their plea deals and stuff like that. Like they're all right. So hold on, let me read about it. Near the village of Pepples, Ohio, the Roden family dominated a few homes along the stretch of Union Hill Road in rural Pike County. Although Dana Roden, 37, and 42-year-old Christopher Roden Sr. were divorced, they were in the process of reconciling. On Union Hill Road, Chris Sr. I'm putting this in front of my face so it's easier. Chris Sr. owned a land with 2 trailers on it. He lived in one, and he and Dana's eldest son, Clarence Frankie Roden, and fiancee Hannah Gilly, both 20, lived next door with their 2 children. Less than a mile away, Chris Sr. owned property he had recently gave to Dana, where she and their son, Chris Jr., 16, and daughter Hannah, 19, lived with her 2 children, Sophia and Kiely. So basically, they were split, but they had like a couple of houses on one property, but they were like close together. So Chris Sr. lived with the eldest son, Frankie, and his fiancee, Hannah, and they had 2 children. And then the mom lived with Chris Jr., who was 16, the younger teenage kid I said, and Hannah, the one who was dating Jake, with her 2 children, Sophia, who she had with Jake, and Kylie, who she had with the other guy. I can't remember his name. I don't think he was there, though.
Bye, Matt. He said
See you,
text
Matt.
him. You text him later.
All right, I will. Hey, NorCal girl.
Hey. Oh, hey, NorCal girl. Nice to see you.
And then, all right, so they lived in the trailer that was basically 2 minutes from Dana. Was Dana's parents, Leonard and Judy Manley. So Dana's younger sister, so the mom.
I need to get a whiteboard.
I know, right?
I know. I have a little like diagram.
Okay.
So if you guys want to see it. So hold on, let me put up the other picture back on.
So when you had the two family pictures up, the family on the right killed the family on the left?
Yes.
Clearly.
Okay.
God, because they were mugshots.
I'll show you the victims too. All right. So you get.
That's what's so crazy about it though. Like you're not just talking about 1 or 2 killers. We're talking about 2 sons and mother and father.
That was me last night piecing all these things together. I had like a piece of paper and I'm like, okay, this person goes here and this person here, this person in this house, this person in this house.
And what was the motive? Why did they want to do it?
Custody over the baby. Like they were really all right. So these are the killers. This one, it all started because him and her were dating and had a baby together, and they wanted custody over the baby.
The first
Say again.
So the first guy on the right, dude with a weird shaped head, him and her.
This guy in the green shirt right here.
Oh, okay.
That's Jake. He thought he would compare himself to Norman Reedus from Walking Dead and Boondock Saints. He fashioned him because he felt like he looked like him, supposedly. Well, he was dating Hannah, her. Okay. And this is also Hannah, but this is her brother's fiance. So they're like not really related yet, but they're both Hannah. So this is their. Okay, so these are the parents. That's Dana and that's Chris. They were split up, right? Or put a line down the middle of them, split up. Chris Jr., their kid, lived with Dana, and Hannah lived with Dana in a trailer. Okay. And then Clarence, aka Frankie, and Hannah lived with Chris Sr. in a separate trailer. They lived close by, though, because Chris owned all that property and they were trying to reconcile. All right. And then this is Gary, I believe. This is his brother. He just happened to be there at the time. And then this is Kenneth, their cousin, I believe.
Wow.
Yes, Jake was a fan of Norman Reedus, Jen Lou. Yeah, they definitely... he definitely liked Norman Reedus and compared himself to him. Hannah Newborn was fathered by... Hannah Newborn was... Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Do you know what his name was, Jen? Hannah Gilley's brother? I can't remember what his name was. It was bothering me that I couldn't think of his name. Well,
so Boondocker Green Shirt had a baby with the girl in the flannel shirt.
No,
and
this girl right here. He had a baby with her.
Okay. But isn't the girl with the flannel shirt the same person? I thought you said this.
No. All right, so look, this is Hannah Mae Roden. She had a baby with Jake, right?
Okay.
This is her brother.
Okay.
Oh, okay. The guy over there is their brother. And then who's the girl he's with?
That's Hannah Gilley, his fiance.
Okay.
Now,
That's where
her brother, Hannah Gilley's brother, fathered another baby with her.
Oh, wow.
So she left Jake and hooked up with her brother, and they had a baby, and Jake was mad that she didn't want him anymore. And he wanted custody of the baby, and he was mad that she wouldn't return his love or whatever. And they hatched this plan. Yeah, it's crazy. So, where was I? All right, so now hopefully that explains it a little better. Took me a while to get it.
Well, I don't know how any of these idiots would have ever thought for a second that they would get away with that. Like, these murderers never think ahead, I don't believe. Like, they don't think.
Some time did go by where, like, where they weren't caught yet because Hannah's parents had, like, a weed growing operation where they grew, like, a lot of weed. Yeah. And they initially thought maybe it was like a cartel style killing over the weed growing. And that's basically how they got away with it for a little bit. But then they moved to, like, Alaska, and things their case started falling apart. And the sheriff was suspecting them pretty early on, I believe. Yeah. All right. So Dana's younger sister, basically, like, you know, her sister, their aunt, whatever, she also lived, Bobby Jo Manley. She lived on Union Hill Road as well. And for years, Bobby helped Dana and her brother-in-law, Chris, with chores and their children, her nieces and nephews, giving them rides and such. In an article by Kathleen Howe, Leonard Manley, Dana and Bobby's father, said Bobby was naive and people took advantage of her, especially Dana and Chris. So on Friday, April 22nd, 2016, started as a typical weekday for Bobby Jo Manley. After waking up and getting her daughter on the school bus, she picked up a friend and his wife, and they drove over to Chris's house to feed his dogs and chickens. She left her phone charging in the car and headed to the door. And it was then that she noticed something wasn't right. Chris always left his door unlocked for her, and she noticed that both of his pit bulls, who normally stayed inside, were on the porch. One was laying on the porch recliner. So it took her a moment or two, but she located the key and found her way inside. So it was locked, which was strange to her because it normally wasn't locked. She walked into the home of Chris Sr. just like every other day, but little did she know that this time it would upend her life, and the horror was just beginning. In an interview, Bobby described the moment she entered Chris Sr.'s only to see a bunch of blood in the front room and described what appeared to be bloody drag marks going from the front room towards the back bedroom.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure they dragged all the men like into the one room and covered them with like a comforter or something.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I yelled, Rodin, 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 which she and others sometimes called Chris Sr. Bobby Joe Manley recalled in an interview with the Cincinnati Enquirer, and then ran towards his bedroom. Inside, she found her brother-in-law, Chris Sr., on the floor, still partially covered with a bed sheet. Trigger warning, everyone. Bloody from the waist up, his cousin Gary Rodin, who apparently had been visiting, was motionless just a few feet away. So Gary just was in the wrong place at the wrong time, basically. I don't think he was on the list. Both men were on the carpeted floor with half-dried pools of blood around them. She couldn't recall seeing shell casings or firearms, but did notice that the bedroom window was wide open. She panicked and bolted out of the house to get her phone. At 7:49 a.m., Pike County 911 dispatcher answered the call. Bobby's phone call, which contents have been released, is raw and heartbreaking. Bobby screamed into the phone at times, intelligible, and looked like someone had beaten the hell out of him. There's blood all over the house. Charlie Gilly was the father of Hannah Mae's newborn, but she was seeing another guy at the time. Okay. The plan was initially to kill Hannah and her family, and then the new boyfriend. Oh, wow. Yeah. I forget. I can't remember. I didn't know. I thought the new boyfriend was the father. I didn't know that Charlie Gilly was the father. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can get the 911 call real quick. Bobby and Manley. Probably be like a Rodin 911 call, but let's see.
That poor woman. She'll never get that image out of her head.
Oh no.
Oh,
and
hell
the,
no.
the brother found it's really sad how it all went down. Yeah, they left the baby. Listen to how messed up they are. They killed the mom with the baby who was breastfeeding. Trigger warning. And they literally like turned her on the side so the baby could keep feeding off her after they killed her.
Oh, that's so sick. How old was the baby at the time?
Like just a couple days old.
Oh my God.
What is this? Kenny Rodin. This was after. Hold on, let's see. I think this is my mom.
Yes, I need help. Yes.
We lost the audio.
That must be the murder truck right there, eh? You see him leaning into it, holding his hands by it?
I'm not sure.
Kate, when you mute, we're losing the audio.
Oh, I don't know why. That's weird. I think it cuts off in some spots. They like cut some parts out. Maybe that's what it is.
No, it was completely gone.
You guys want me to rewind it?
Yeah, it was quite a while.
All right, hold on. I'll rewind it. We can listen to it again. I don't know why it did that because I shared my. Hold on. Let me try again. Maybe I didn't hear the hit the share audio button.
911. Yes, I need help. Yes, 40. Let's go. Come on. I need to tell me the address. What's the address? Just a second. We walk to the mailbox. I think my brother-in-law's dead. Okay, what's the address? Give me just a second. 4077 Union Hill Road. 4077. 4077. Okay, 4077 Union Hill, correct? Yes, 4077 Union Hill Road. Ma'am, you gotta tell me what's going on. There's blood all over the house. Okay. My brother-in-law's in the bedroom and looks like someone has beat the hell out of him. Okay. There's blood all over the room. Ma'am, can you tell me what county that's in? Is it Pike County? It's Pike County? Yes, and they drug him in the bedroom. Okay. I need you to get out of the house. 911. There's Pike County, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah.
This is 911. Can I help you?
Yeah, I need a deputy who's been out to close to 799 Left Fork.
Okay.
It's all this stuff that's on the news. I just found my cousin with a gunshot wound.
Okay. Sir, is she alive?
No.
Okay. Is there a 799 Left Fork?
It's close to 799. I don't know what his address is. You don't have a box.
You don't have a box. Okay.
I'll be standing out by the road waiting on him.
Wow.
Ouch.
Sorry. Yeah, Jen, I'll come on with you. What time do you usually go on? Yeah. So the second one was the brother. Hold on, I'm gonna go on the Twitter of the guy because he has so much information on there. Like he shares all the Evan Millward, I think his name is. He's been covering it really good. I'd love to pick this guy's brain about this case.
Did both the callers survive?
Yeah.
The lady that called too? Okay.
Yeah. So they survived. So the trial's been going on pretty much, and this guy covers it, and he's sorry 8:50 and court starts at 9. All right, yeah, I'll be up. My kid usually take my kid to school, and then I'll just usually take a nap, but I'll come on with you. All right, give me a second.
Oh yeah, Jim Lou's hilarious. No, I was waiting on as you was telling that story, one of them going after the lady who went in and found them. That's heartbreaking.
I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, there's probably too much heat at that point for them to go back and go after her too. Let me finish reading this, and then I will show you guys all the stuff that he has because he's got a treasure trove of information, and I'm making a video about it, so I'm probably going to drop that like this week. I'm not going to do like a live. I'm just going to drop the video, but you guys can watch it, and we can talk about it again if we want. But
how did they leave? Because the truck looked like that was the truck out front that they were looking in. So how did? Yeah.
Well, they burned the truck. I'm pretty sure they took this truck. They made it specially just for. They made like a secret hatch where they hid in it, and they all jumped out. All right, so I guess Billy would buy drugs off Chris. So it wasn't weird. And they were actually good friends, I believe. Jen, if I get any of this wrong, correct me. If you probably know just as much as I do, probably more. But I haven't been able to I've been watching the trial a little bit, but I haven't been completely up to date on everything because I've just been down this rabbit hole as of a couple days ago. But so they were friends, and he would buy I don't know if weed or drugs or whatever, off Chris. So it wasn't unusual for Billy to meet Chris. So I guess what they did was, the plan was that Billy goes over and buys drugs, and then they hop out the murder truck and jump them or whatever. And then they take Billy's car, I believe, to go to the next places, bring the car back, then take their murder truck home and burn it. Janet Levy is a localist, covered this case from start. Did an excellent recap of day 2, which when Bobby Joe testified. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'll read that tonight, so I'm ready for tomorrow. But where was I? So at 7:49 a.m., a Pike County 911 dispatcher answered the call. Bobby's phone call, which the contents have since. Oh yeah, I read it. There's blood all over the house. She couldn't even remember the street number to the Union Hill address that she had been to perhaps hundreds of times, and ran to the mailbox and read 4077 to the dispatcher. Bobby Joe Manley then ran over to her nephew Frankie Roden's trailer to tell him she found his father, but she just left his father's trailer. Then she runs to Frankie's trailer to tell him what happened. And Frankie's home was locked. So desperate to get his attention, she pounded on the door to wake Frankie. Trigger warning, this is kind of sad. She pounds on the door to wake Frankie, or his son, her grandnephew, Brentley. She heard the door unlock and then slowly open, and a toddler looking up at her. She knelt down to Brentley and asked him, "Where's your daddy?" And he pointed to Frankie Roden and Hannah Gilley's bedroom. She ran back there, hollering for Frankie to wake up. She opened the door, again horrified. The scene was grisly. The carnage was amplified. Lying in their bed was Frankie and Hannah. And he said something along the lines of, like, Daddy's got lots of blood on him or something like that. Like he told her Daddy's got lots of blood on him. So Bobby Joe Manley knew without a doubt the couple, both just 20 years old, were dead. Hannah was motionless, her legs curled up on her right side in a partial fetal, trigger warning guys, partial fetal position with the left strap of her bloody nightgown let down with her left breast exposed from her nursing bra. On a pillow was her head, typically full of beautiful long blonde hair, now red, caked in blood. Frankie was lying on his back next to Hannah. His left eye was black and swollen. At first glance, the patch of bedding between them was just a pool of blood. Then Bobby saw movement, and it was their 6-month-old baby, Ruger, squashed between his parents, covered from head to toe in blood. Hey, Texas Troy. Sorry if I'm missing anybody coming in and not saying hi. I've just been reading this and probably haven't seen some of the chat. It's an image Bobby wants to get out of her head, leaning over Frankie's body, her 6-month-old grandnephew covered in his parents' blood, petting his slain father's bloody upper chest, trying desperately to nurse his mother. According to Columbus Dispatch, Brentley's mother, Chelsea, had dropped off Brentley. So I'm confused about this. Jen, do you know the answer to this? Oh, so Brentley was Chelsea's mom. Or Chelsea was Brentley's mom, and then Ruger was Hannah and what's it called? Okay. So Chelsea dropped off Brentley the night before so he could spend more time with his father, and as soon as she received the call the very next morning, she made the 45-minute drive in 20, she said. The Pike County Sheriff's deputies arrived moments later. I didn't even realize that was off. Hold on. I'm clicking all kinds of buttons I shouldn't be clicking. There you go. The Pike County Sheriff's deputies arrived moments later and began to question Bobby. Little did she know her descent into hell had only just begun. Before them, a mile north, Bobby's older brother, James Manley, and his wife, Alice, pulled into the driveway of Dana's trailer. So now James goes to Dana's house. Someone had to break the news to Dana and the kids, but when James walked in, Dana was dead. He then headed right back out the door after hearing his grandniece crying. It's unclear to what extent his knowledge was of what Bobby encountered a short time earlier. However, April Manley told the Cincinnati Enquirer he, James, didn't want to find his niece like that, which one could assume he knew what Bobby encountered with Frankie and Hannah. So he basically goes there and he finds Dana, and then I think he called 911 before checking on his niece, who's there. I think their baby was only like 5 days old. So upon entering the trailer, deputies found the body of Dana Manley Roden. Then they headed towards the sound of a crying infant. They found 19-year-old Hannah Roden shot to death in bed with her unharmed 5-day-old daughter, Kiely, wiggling next to her. Moments later, they found the youngest of the victims, 16-year-old Chris Roden Jr., a high school freshman who was just issued his driver's license. Initially, there was concern about where Hannah's 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, was, but deputies quickly learned she was staying at a relative's home. James testified yesterday, and he saw it all. Yeah, I seen a little bit of his testimony, Jen. Like, I seen a couple minutes of it, but it was late by the time I started watching it, so I was like, I need to keep going today. But, I mean, we can, if there's any clips of it, we can watch it after this. Where was I? So, the remaining Modens and Manley families, and both families of Hannah Gilley, the Gilleys and the Carvers, had only started to grasp the extent of the casualties, yet were beyond overwhelm, only certain that their lives forever changed. So then, Donald Stone, Chris Sr.'s cousin, on his mother's side, had learned about the family members being murdered on TV. Stunned, he went over to Chris Sr.'s brother, Kenneth Roden's, to see if there was anything he could do. Kenneth lived in a small camper about 3 miles from his brother, Christopher. Donald Stone would enter the camper only to discover that his other cousin, Kenneth, had been murdered, shot once through his right eye. So hey, Candace Stratton. So basically, he goes over and they also find this, like, his brother as well. So Chris and both of his brothers are killed. Or no, a brother and a cousin. And then, so I guess Kenneth's the brother, and then Gary's the cousin who was visiting. And Dana, Hannah and Christopher, Frankie, and his girlfriend.
So there's 3 different houses?
Yeah. So
wow.
Chris Sr. lived on the same property as his oldest son, Frankie, and his fiancee, Hannah. So that was like the one area. 4 properties. Yeah, well, there's technically like 2 on the same property, but in different trailers, if that makes sense. So there's 2 trailers on one property, and the dad lived in the one, and Frankie and Hannah lived in the other. The dad was in his trailer with his cousin visiting, Gary. They were both killed. Then in the second trailer was the oldest son, Clarence, a.k.a. Frankie. They call him Frankie, but his real name's Clarence. And his fiancee, Hannah, and their 2 kids were in that trailer. Then another property Chris owned, a third one, is where Dana lived with Hannah and young Christopher. And then a 4th camper is where Kenneth lived. So 4 different properties, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me see. So they ended up, I think, running off to like Alaska, and then they moved to Alaska. 3 on one property. All right. I thought Dana's was a little bit away, but you might be right. Dana's might be still on the same property. He owned like a big stretch of land, so it was close by at least. The call went out over the radio about the quadruple homicide that occurred. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find where it says. They talked about the corruption in the town a little bit. There was some like corruption with the police force. And then, all right, so rumors were circulating. So this is what happened right after the murders. Rumors started circulating that the Rodens were ruthless redneck drug addicts and hardened criminals. Tales of animal torture from their cockfighting operation were rampant. Several different versions of the same story about the rodents engaging in a drunken brawl at a demolition derby. Worst of all, stories of them humiliating and bullying locals if they didn't pay Christopher Sr. gambling and drug debts owed. Pictures told another tale, a community that gathered together, raised money and memorials for members of their community taken so violently and too soon. It appeared no one could separate fact from fiction, including Ohio's top cop, Attorney General Mike DeWine. He continually hinted at a possible history of Mexican organized crime in the area and had not ruled out such a connection, though other leads are being pursued as well. Other theories involved a cockfighting ring and a hit carried out over a dispute regarding a demolition derby car. When pressed on it a few days later, Attorney General DeWine still refused to relent on the cartel angle. We will not be telegraphing or telling the bad guys everything that we know, DeWine said, which still gave credibility to the rumor, if not fueling it. Eventually, the DEA had to step in and quell the rumors perpetuated by DeWine and Pike County Sheriff's Office. DEA agent in charge, Chris Malink, out of the DEA's Dayton field office, told several media outlets, historically, those types of domestic grow operations are separate from the Mexican cartel supply chain, and that he's not aware of any grow operation discovered in Southwest Ohio that have been linked to a Mexican drug organization. So yeah, they had a big weed grow operation, which made everyone think it was connected. Yeah, Jen Lou can get the link, of course.
You know, it's crazy. I listen to this, it all just sounds so wild, but even crazier, one of the last people these people saw alive was Rylan Upchurch.
I know. I cannot believe that there's a connection there.
Which one? Who was the last one to see Upchurch again?
The whole family went to his show. He was supposed to go to their house and hang out and ride four-wheelers, and his road manager wouldn't let him.
Lucky.
He should have been there. He wanted to go.
That's wild. I can't believe that. I did not even mean.
I knew I recognized the picture when you put it up.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, sorry. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, Jen.
Hey.
I can't believe there's a connection there. I didn't even mean for that to happen. Wait, do you still have that on your screen, Al? You want me to share it real quick? Oh, there we go.
We're also hearing about corruption.
I remember reading this Facebook post in 2018. It says, 2 years ago, I had a show upstate. Met this cool-ass family who bullshitted and talked about my song Rolling Stone. They invited me to their farm to smoke weed and ride four-wheelers, and I almost went, but my tour manager at the time said we didn't have the time to do all that, so we took pictures, parted ways the same night. The family I was bullshitting with were all murdered in the middle of the night. They never did figure out who did it until now. Below, you'll see the pieces of shit that killed my that nice family. Glad they finally caught up to these MFers.
Can you believe that? I can't believe it.
How ironic. Wow. And actually, Ryan pulled the video where he tells the story from YouTube.
Mm.
But a bunch of people snipped it and did commentary on it. So
maybe that's what opened the doors to his.
I think it might be.
I'm not
but he does. I had no idea he even had a connection to this. I had no idea.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. But if you look at
one of you guys
a terrifying story about Hannah Roden, it comes up on YouTube. There's 5 different guys that did reactions to the actual video. In his own words, he tells the whole story, and he shows pictures of him with Hannah Roden.
Wow, that's crazy.
One of you guys should email him or get a hold of him and tell him that Kate's covering that crime and she wants his input on what he experienced.
I messaged him on Facebook.
Yeah, I DM'd him on IG, and he follows me, and he still hasn't even seen it.
Yeah, same. I happened to be on a panel with him the one night, and he followed me on IG too. But
that was the same night, wasn't it, Kate?
Yeah, we were. That's how I met Big Al.
That's how we met. Zav's panel fell apart, and her computer took a dump, and we all ended up on a private panel.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask this though, because I'm thinking I'm hearing it wrong. Was he supposed? Are y'all saying he was literally supposed to be there?
Yes.
at the time that the murders
Yes.
happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he dodged his manager.
Because
Inevitably,
his manager
made him
told him
dodge.
no, he's alive.
He better be glad that manager told him no.
Right up.
Right. Well, there were other people that were supposed to be there at different houses. Well, no, I guess it's not really different houses. It would be at Dana's house. So the Hannah Roden wasn't seeing Charlie Gilly anymore. Their relationship was really quick. It's very short. Because he was a drug addict, and she just didn't, she didn't like it, and she tried to help him, and it didn't work out. And then she met another guy, and that's who she was dating at the time of the murders, and he was supposed to have spent the night before the murders happened. So he would have been, his name starts with a C too, and I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't make my brain make it come out. And Chris Jr. was supposed to
maybe?
Colin, something like that. He was supposed to have somebody spend the night too, but he had gotten in trouble for staying out past his curfew. And so as punishment, his friend didn't end up getting to spend the night. But when the Wagners came, they came to annihilate anybody and everybody that was in those homes. They did not care. And
they explain the motives for each person. So like Hannah, they killed her because she wouldn't obviously like return Jake's love. And then Chris and Dana, because they basically, Chris, Dana, all her family members knew of his abuse, and they felt like they would be in the way of getting custody of the baby or whatever.
Yeah. So Angela's thinking, which she's the mastermind behind all of this.
Yeah, the mom.
Yeah. So her thinking was initially, so they had several different plans before they landed on this final plan. But the initial plan was they were just going to take out Chris Sr. because they thought that if, him being the patriarch of the family, if he was no longer around, the family would just fall apart and custody would be easy. Then they were going to snitch on Chris Jr. for the grow operation. Jake said no to and that would just eliminate all the problem.
The 16-year-old?
No, Chris Sr., my bad.
Okay.
The dad, the father.
Yeah. Let me ask this. Why was it so vital that the parents want? I mean, I get that the son was like, he wanted to be with the girl or whatever, but why was it so important to them about custody of his kid?
Because Angela, okay, so when Hannah and Jake were dating, she told Jake of a essay when she was younger by a family friend, and that nothing was done about it. So Angela Wagner had this delusion that Sophia, which is their daughter in common, could potentially happen to her, and there would be nobody there to protect her. And if they waited until something happened, then it would be too late. So.
Wait, what would be too late? Say that again. Sorry.
That if they had waited until something actually did happen to Sophia, then it's too late, and that damage can't be undone to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but didn't they try and play it off like she was being abused, even though she wasn't, or something like that? Like they tried to make it seem like they. I think, or at least that's what I think Angela's lawyer, one of them tried to run with, that they made it out that she was being abused by the fam. I don't think she wasn't, but she wasn't being abused, but their lawyer was trying to run with that to get them off, I believe.
Yeah, Angela's lawyer has said some stuff, but the evidence is, and it comes from Jake. It's from his confession that essentially the motive was custody, but it was because Angela Wagner had this, she just cooked this whole scenario up in her head about Sophia being abused. It was all, she's, yeah.
They were like this though. Like they
they were like the Fireflies. You know who that is? The family from The Devil's Rejects. That's how this family rolled.
Yeah, they were very like it had a strange dynamic, and the mom was like really weird. Like she wanted Hannah's baby to call her mom, and they gave hell to George's. So George and Tabitha had a baby named Bullvine. I think that's how I say it. And there was a big custody battle between them, and Angela even attacked Tabitha with a 2x4 and threw it at her.
Yes. Yeah, and so when they divorced, and this is what I find super gross, George Wagner's, the one that's on trial right now, number 4, George Wagner the 4th, George Washington Wagner the 4th is his whole ass government name. Yeah. Who has worn the same leather vest for every court appearance going back a year. That's just a side note. It's just weird anyway, bottom line is this. His defense is he didn't know, he didn't show, he didn't go, and it ain't his fault he was born a Wagner. That's really his defense. Yeah. And they're
really trying to cover up for him, but didn't Jake already admit that he was part of it though? Like,
yes. So the thing is that Jake has said that although George never actually physically pulled the trigger, he didn't kill anybody. He did hand a gun to Jake, number 1, and he was there on the scene, and later helped destroy evidence. That's what Jake's version of events is. But George's lawyer says that you can't be believing anything that Angela or Jake say because they're liars.
Yeah, they basically turned on the family and started talking to get.
Right. Well,
avoid the death. Well, for Jake to avoid the death penalty.
For George too.
Oh, okay.
Jake is. This is what's so weird about this.
They're actually pretty calculated, though. Like
yes,
in how they're doing the court stuff and everything. Like they're
yes. What's so calculating about it is the lengths to which this family went to, not only to plan this crime, right, but to carry it out and then look beyond the carrying it out and work on the getting away with it. Like Angela went to Walmart and bought these tennis shoes that were Velcro, and they were nothing like what George or Jake would have ever worn. And they were bought specifically for that crime, for them to wear. And then they, so when they showed up at Chris Sr.'s house, see, this is what's the saddest part. Chris Sr. was awake, and so was Gary, because Billy Wagner, the father, had text Chris Sr. the night prior and arranged this meeting. And so what was supposed to happen is when Chris Sr. came to the door, George and Jake were supposed to come out from the false bed that they had made, right, and for the truck and shoot him. But the homemade silencer that Jake used was a
couldn't see over it or something.
Right, yeah, and he didn't shoot, and so then they created another ruse and had had Chris Sr. call Billy's cell phone, which was not there. It was at their home, and Angela Wagner was texting people from all 3 of those phones to make it appear as if Billy, George, and Jake were using their phones and it was to alibi them essentially, right?
Yeah.
So
they planned like they made a false bed in the truck where they could hide underneath so you couldn't see them,
and then covered it with hay to make it appear as if it was full of hay. Yeah, it's all messed up.
And
they did a lot.
and after I'm pretty sure Billy did shoot Chris, and he was like they were actually good friends, weren't they? And I think he
Yes.
even said like I just killed my best friend or something.
He did, and the weapon that he used was high power enough that when he shot Chris Sr., wood from the door paneling,
Went into his head.
went into his yeah.
Mhm. I read that. So I pulled up. I'll show you some of the Twitter stuff I have from Evan. He shares a lot of the information from the trial. So
Yeah, because a lot of these witnesses, and this is the other interesting thing. So even though Angela and Jake have taken plea deals, right? Ohio has a weird law where witnesses can opt out of being either their face shown or both their face and their audio. So some witness, there's been one witness that's just had audio, consented to audio, but on the whole, they've either completely opted out or completely opted in, and that same courtesy applies to Jake and Angela. So and nobody
being recorded if they want to.
Exactly. So
But
nobody
decide,
knows.
like, right before they go up, right? Like it's like they said I think he explained it as like it's pretty like they decide like pretty much not long before they testify, so they don't know who's gonna.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So they're not, Angela and Jake are not, tomorrow's Friday, so they're not scheduled to testify this week. But the state's case is set to be rested about October 5th approximately, and then the defense will begin. So sometime between next Monday and October 5th is when Angela and Jake will testify, but nobody knows whether or not they will testify back to back or at different points. And, so it's all like super duper up in the air.
So
I don't think they should be
testify tomorrow.
Do what?
Do you know who's supposed to testify tomorrow?
No.
Gotcha.
No. I mean, I know the witness list.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's always subject to change.
And
you know what I mean?
Catch up on all the stuff that happened already because I
I
went down the story rabbit hole for the past couple of days, but it's taken me a while to like put everything together because there's so many damn people involved.
There is. Well, when I saw was it Court TV or Law and Crime? I can't remember which one. About a month ago. I know it's more than that because it was in July. They had a little video about the jury selection, and that was back in at the end of July, and trial was supposed to start August 29th, and then it got pushed to September 6th, and then somebody was sick. So I had been planning as soon as I saw it, because I followed this case, I was like, oh my gosh. Then I started reading all the things that I could. Then I even got an extra week.
A little bit in the beginning, but I just knew it was like a family thing. I didn't go in, like I didn't deep dive hard into like each person and all the things around it. Like I followed it to the point where I just knew a little bit of like what it was about, but I had no idea all these crazy details. Like
it's crazy. And the thing that is crazy also is that Hannah Roden, her body was repositioned. Jake admitted to that. But also Hannah Hazel Gilly. I just find it, I don't know, a hell of a coincidence that both mothers would be breastfeeding. Do you know what I mean? It almost feels like it was a final insult to the family on Jake's part, like it was a staged thing. So, because the other thing that happened is
they moved that they set it up so that the baby. This is trigger warning, guys. But they admitted that they had set up the one so that the baby could still keep breastfeeding after they killed her mom, which is so gross to me. Like, why?
Yes. But then why do that to Hannah Gilly? It's just such an odd coincidence. It could be simply a coincidence. It could just be just one of those things, but it feels really weird. And the other thing that feels weird about all of it is that Chris Sr. and Gary Roden were covered. They were not in bed. They were found like at the foot of the beds of the bed
I
down.
believe they even dragged them in.
They dragged them. They dragged them
covered
from
them
one
with
end of that
comfort.
trailer to the other. Yeah, they did, both of them.
Mhm.
And then also Kenneth Roden, he was also covered, which is weird, which is another interesting scenario, which is I don't
Now
even know why they thought it would be the cartel in the first place, because 9 times out of 10, when somebody is covered that way, the perpetrator knows the victim. Strangers don't do that. It's like an act of guilt. They don't want to look at what they've done. Do you know what I mean? Because they knew the person.
Yeah.
But I also think that what is also interesting is that at Kenneth's place, which was, I think, like 3 miles away from where the other Roden family was, he had a sensor at the end of his driveway. So if a car or a person passed the sensor, it would like make a doorbell sound inside the trailer. And that it had not been, it stopped functioning like 2 days prior. So, which is, I think that, I mean, it's evident that the Wagners watched the Roden family, but he was also covered. And it almost feels like, it's weird because although Bobby Manley did go out there, right, frequently, it wasn't an everyday thing that she was out at that property to feed the dogs, right?
Yeah.
So the Wagners would have had no way of knowing for sure who would be found first or when. And it almost feels like they covered the bodies up so that whoever found them would see that they were think they were sleeping. And then when they couldn't wake them, would go over to the bed and pull the covers down and see what had happened. I don't know. It just seems
was it
extra
separate?
sinister.
Did they all go in each house together, or did they separately go? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, maybe it's different because of who went in each house. Like, maybe if Billy went in the one with Chris, he was more inclined to, like, cover them up and whatever because it was his friend. But then if Jake went in the one with Hannah, he was pissed off and wanted, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, Dana was covered, too.
Oh, Dana was covered.
Mm-hmm. I think they all they all went into each house because they didn't know how many people they would be in the house at the time. Remember that Dana, Hannah, and Chris Jr. were in one house, and they had accounted for the potential of Hannah's boyfriend to be there, right? So that's an added person that could, you know what I'm saying? So they all went in, except for George. George wasn't there, according to George.
Gotcha. Well, he obviously was there because
well,
they already said he was. But, well, isn't the mom trying to act like he wasn't, but Jake already admitted that he was there?
I don't know what the mom is going to say, but what I'm really curious about is, and I have to give credit where credit is due, the defense attorney isn't wrong thus far. There isn't anything physical that ties George to being there other than Jake's confession, right? And I'm very curious how the prosecution plans to put George Wagner's feet in those tennis shoes that left the marks, that left the footprints in blood.
Didn't they like burn the tennis shoes or hide them, or she did something with them?
They're gone. Yeah, they can't they didn't recover the tennis shoes, but they did recover a receipt. Yes, they have a receipt and a video. But that's, and you could make the connection, but I hope that there is more than that puts George in those shoes.
Yeah, so they can put him at the scene. So, Buttercup, real quick, I'll give you a little rundown. There's 2 families who, one was the Rodens and one was the Wagners. This girl, Hannah, she was dating Jake Wagner, and they had a baby together. Then the Wagners wanted custody of the baby, and they're very, like, controlling, abusive type people. And Hannah was like, no, not over my dead body. So the Wagners started planning a murder to kill basically their whole family, the Rodens' whole family, anyone who got in the way of what they wanted to do. And they ended up killing, I think, 8 people altogether.
Yeah, 8 people.
Hannah, her brothers and sisters, her brother's fiance, her parents, her dad's brother, and her dad's cousin. I think I got it all.
You got it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's one of
and
the craziest murder stories I've ever heard.
Did they
It
leave?
is.
Did they leave 3 kids alive? 2 baby, or a baby and a toddler,
Yeah.
and then the related baby, right?
yeah. So,
Well, so Sophia wasn't there.
Yeah, Sophia wasn't there. Kiely was there though,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ruger and Brentley. So 3
Yes,
babies.
3 babies.
3 babies, and only one of them was the blood son
No.
of that. No.
No, so the child that the custody was, the dispute was over, was Sophia, and she was with her
She was
dad.
the one gone. Okay.
She was the one gone, yeah.
But they did leave the other 3 young kids alive.
Yeah, and completely unharmed. I mean, physically unharmed.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this right here on the screen. Hold on. This is all right. So some questions today about marijuana. Chris Roden's property. Bobby Joe said she didn't know. Billy Morgan said he sometimes smelled it. And about the cockfighting. James says chickens on Roden property were for fighting because they were separated. James Manley is Dana's brother.
Yes.
He describes the scene inside Frankie's trailer. There was blood everywhere on the bodies, on the bed, on the rugs. James says he got to Dana's house to tell her about Frankie and Chris. So he knew at that point Frankie and Chris were killed, and he went to go tell her and break the news to her. And the door pushed open when he knocked. He kept yelling her name and felt on the bed to see if she was there. He says he pulled on her pillow. It stuck. He knew she was dead. So she was covered then with...
Yes.
Completely covered. Okay.
Yep.
And then James says he knew Dana was dead and he took off out of the house. You could assume that he knew that because they were all dead. That, like, Chris was dead and whatever. He could hear Kiely crying in another room. That's Hannah Mae's youngest daughter. James said he told his wife everyone was dead and they needed to get the baby. James says he didn't actually go back into Dana's house when he and his wife got there. He couldn't. He flagged down Piketon police at the mailbox. Once the squad showed up, they went in and got Kiely. He didn't want to see his niece in that state, so he didn't want to go back in. He didn't even want to see his sister, I imagine. It sounded like he didn't even pull the pillow off. He just knew.
Yeah.
He told police there's at least one dead in there. His wife rode with baby Kiely in the squad to the hospital, and he stayed at Dana's for an hour and a half. Then a cop took him back to Frankie's. This is photos of the room inside Dana's home, having James describe them. Our pool camera will pan off under judge's orders not to show scenes with the body. So, yeah, obviously they're not going to show the bodies in the pictures.
No, but they did show it to James, and it was very upsetting for him. They showed her, they showed the full, the crime scene as it was that day. And you could, I watched the James, and I watched Donald, who's the other 911 caller. He called for Kenneth. And Donald, I'm a tough girl, and it takes a lot to get me in my feelers, but Donald had me all the way in my feelers because you could just, he was crying, and he was just, he was right back on April 22nd, 2016.
So what was Donald's relation to them? Was he their cousin?
Yes, he's their, he is Chris Sr.'s cousin. Donald Stone is his name. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did it, being that they were in bed, the 2 girls, the mom and the daughter, they must have went in on them at night or early in the morning, huh?
It was real early in the morning, yeah.
Mayhem and miracles. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm trying to remember because they know almost exactly when Chris Sr. was killed because that's so when George and Jake failed to shoot when he came to the door. The second ruse was Chris said, "I can't find my phone. Would you call it?" Okay. And that's when he then shot Chris Sr. But that call Chris Sr. did make that call, and it did go to Billy Wagner's phone. And so that's how they know. I mean, it was way early in the morning that this happened.
So basically, Billy Wagner was up at the time, and he called him, and he was awake. He wasn't asleep, I imagine.
No, they had arranged the night before to meet the next morning. So yeah,
for like a drug deal or something.
Correct.
Wow.
And there's a lot of
he chickened out and blamed it on the silencer or whatever, or did he try? Well, I would imagine he would have to just open the door and do it, right? Or did he not even go up there? Like, how did that work?
He didn't go up there. So what was supposed to happen is Billy was supposed to knock on the door, obviously. And when Chris came out, that's when they were supposed to, and I guess Jake, for whatever. I mean, he said it was because he couldn't see. It is, but that's so, yeah.
So here's if you.
So
okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just wondering who did the actual murder? Did all four of them kill? Or
well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
I will so if you or when you ask, because at various times Jake has said that he killed all 8 people. Which we know is not true, because it's then changed.
He's also said that they all he's also said that they all killed people too. And then the mom has admitted to being basically the mastermind. Like, she's admitted to help planning.
She dragged Mima into it, y'all.
Oh yeah, I mean,
she dragged her own mother into it
she dragged Grandma into it.
She dragged the Mima into it, Brittany.
Oh my God!
I know they got Mimas involved in this.
Didn't they hide evidence in her barn or something like that?
They did. They hid the guns, but here's how they really tried to hose her. So there was this paper, right, that was dated from 2014. And essentially, it was purported to be Hannah Mae Roden giving custody, if anything should happen to her, giving custody of Sophia to Jake. Okay. And it was dated 2014, and it was signed allegedly by Hannah, but it was witnessed and notarized by Angela Wagner's mom. I call her Mima because I can't really remember what her name is right now, just off the top of my head, but I do know it. So when they ended up right as the Wagners were moving to Alaska, a neighbor of theirs called because they had this whole trailer filled with their stuff. So the cops went and got a search warrant, and when they searched that trailer, that's when they found the receipt for the shoes, but they also found a laptop. And when they went through the laptop, they realized that the document that was signed in 2014 was created in 2016. And that Angela even forged her mother's signature as the notary. So they just just lied on poor Mima, but then and stashed guns at Mima's house. It was bad. Mima's in trouble too. She's awaiting sentencing. They only dropped the forgery charges against her.
Oh yeah, they forged up whole fake custody documents.
Yes.
I think they did that. Didn't they try and do when the police came? I'm pretty sure they gave police fake custody documents to make them believe that they actually had custody or something like that. But,
yes.
Yeah.
And there's also it's also suspicious how the true situation between Tabitha and George. Because if you listen to the defense attorney, George's defense attorney, which obviously he's going to spin it in the best light for his client, right? That's a given. But her mother offered to pay for an attorney for her, Tabitha's mother, and Tabitha said no. So George's lawyer drew up a custody arrangement and the dissolution of marriage arrangement, and she signed it pro se, no lawyer. So a lot of so George's lawyers like, see, George isn't like the Wagners. He handled this the right way. But most people believe that Tabitha was intimidated into giving George custody. And that's why she didn't have an attorney or anything like that, because she was scared. And she's also supposed to testify as well.
I got the question.
Well, not now, but I would have been. What's up, Scott?
Does Ohio have the law where if you're present during the commission of a crime and somebody gets murdered, that it doesn't matter who pulled the trigger, you're charged with murder too?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter really who pulled the trigger and who didn't. They're all just in the same amount of trouble, right?
I think even Angela could possibly even get like a really bad for even being part of the plan.
Was she there? She wasn't there, or she was there too?
No, she wasn't there. She was at home.
She planned it.
Yeah, she's taken the plea though. She's been sentenced to 30 years.
Boy, isn't that a coward move? He's the mastermind, crazy Bahama mama, and then she sits there while they go do it all.
Yep.
Oh my God! I think I remember. One of the mainstream channels covered this.
Oxygen.
Yes, and it does seem like they said that she was hyper obsessed, like she was fixated.
Yeah, they were a strange family for sure, and they all like took care of each other financially. It was they all
function as like one unit.
Yeah. Like, and then she wanted like Hannah's baby to call her mom. They're just really strange people. Like a weird way of going about things.
Bovine calls her mom, or did.
That's
George's son, and he thinks Tabitha is his aunt or sister or some shit. I can't remember how it was, but it's all messed. I mean, it's all kinds of foobar. It's just all the way, the whole situation.
She want it that way though. Like I don't get it. Like because they were young or something. I don't get it.
Because she's free. I don't know. Because she's crazy and a manipulator. She's just a psycho hose beast. I don't know. Why would you? I mean, the whole thing is just
weird controlling thing about that whole family.
Yeah.
Like, and it's strange that they all were down for this. Like that's what blows my mind too. Like Brittany said.
I know.
It's like, how did not one of these people be like, this is a freaking stupid idea?
You guys.
You know what I mean? Like this
I'm left. Jen Luke, first Jen Luke quotes. You quote Mel Gibson, and then you say, "Hose." What did you say?
Oh God, who knows what I said? I say all kinds of shit.
You called it Angela.
It wasn't even hose bag. It wasn't a hose bag. It was something else.
Oh, a psycho hose.
I don't even know.
Psycho hose beast. That's from Wayne's World.
A hose beast.
Psycho hose beast.
Well, that's what's so great about Jen. It's like she just says it without even having to think about it. It just rolls off the tongue.
Sometimes that's a problem.
No, I like your style of true crime because you make it a little easier to listen to.
Thank you. It's hard stuff, man. It's heavy. Yeah, she's a whole psycho hose beast. And George is remarried. He's got another wife.
Wait, was he at the time of the murders? Was he or no? Oh,
after.
No. Sorry, I was thinking of the dad. Wait, the dad? The dad's Billy. Never mind.
Yeah, the dad's Billy.
Yeah, George is remarried. I did hear that.
Yeah.
But
so how long?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Scott.
I was just wondering how long a period of time it was from the time they first showed up to do the first one until the time it was completed and they left. The whole thing. Like how long?
I think they're thinking like 30 minutes max. Maybe it was quick.
it was all close together. Like there was
Yeah.
like 3 houses on the same stretch of land. It's just a big stretch of land, and
Right.
then we're not like trailers. You know what I mean? Like
And how did these people, these 2 people that called 911, how were they alerted? Did they hear gunshots? Is that what it was?
No,
No.
Bobby was she is Dana's sister. So
she helped
Chris
them all
is
the time. She would go
she
feed the
did.
dogs
So
and
she
go
was there to
forth.
feed the dogs and noticed that Chris Senior's truck was still in the driveway and that the inside dogs were outside. And when she went into the home, she saw the blood. She said you could see the drag marks where they dragged the bodies from the entryway of the trailer back into the bedroom.
And then I guess James was alerted somehow, and then James went to go to break the news to Dana, and that's when he met them.
Okay, so what happened there is after Bobby Joe calls 911, okay, she goes over to her parents' house, which don't live far away. And James, the brother, happened to be home. And so when Bobby Joe got to the parents, they left to head back over to Dana's house, and James followed them, and that's how he ended up being where he was and finding Dana.
Okay. And how long after it occurred did they find them like that?
They haven't really talked about because they haven't had like the medical examiner on there.
Probably like a
So
few hours.
yeah, 2 maybe 3 hours at the most.
So Bobby Joe lived on the same street as them. Like she lived nearby. She lived on Union Hill Road too. So it wasn't like far from. No, all right. So
No, she lived away from them. She lived about a 20-30 minute drive away, if
was
that.
she still on the same road though? I'm pretty sure it said she lived on the same road.
I think it was a different. No, it was that she lived, because I couldn't figure this out either. So one of I can't remember now who was being cross-examined yesterday off the top of my head, but they were asked if they knew about Chris Senior having any rental properties, and they testified no. But until I watched the recap today, I didn't understand why they asked that question. And the reason they asked that question is because Bobby Joe testified that she lived in a different city. She wasn't in Pike, but not far.
Oh.
She lived in a different city, and she rented that mobile home from Chris Senior.
Oh, because the one I read said she was like on the same, even on the same. But maybe they got it wrong because she was renting from him.
There was a lot of weird there. So Bobby Joe was not allegedly was not treated well by the media or by the police. Mainly the police.
That Chris and Dana she was like naive, and she did a lot of things for them. Like they took advantage of her a little bit. But it couldn't have been that long, because if they came early in the morning, like say like 4 a.m., we'll just throw 4 a.m. out there.
Yeah.
Right, early morning. Then she gets her kid on the school bus, and then right after she gets her kid on the school bus, she goes. So
right, and the 911 call, because the 911 call was at 7:49 a.m. Now that detail I do remember. So that means she got there like around 7:35, maybe.
So literally,
how long after the police, when they got the bodies that were all discovered, where did the people go, and how long before they were arrested?
Okay, so this happened April 22nd of 2016, and almost like a year after the crime occurred, the Wagner family moved to Alaska. And then on November 13th, 2018 is when Angela, Billy, Jake, George, and the grandmother were all, and there's another person because there were 6 arrested. Who am I leaving out? Billy, Angela, Jake, George, the grandmother, and then there's 6 people were arrested.
Tabitha wasn't arrested. No.
No, she wasn't. I can't think
The
of
new
who it
wife?
was.
So
I
they
don't
lived
think
like
so.
where they did. They didn't even move for a whole year.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was pretty close, right around or right under, maybe 7-8 months, something like that, between the time the crime occurred and them going to Alaska. Is when the pressure was mounting from the BCI. That's when I guess they said we're out.
And what did
And
the FBI or whatever you just said? What did they find that tilted it where they could make arrests?
Well, when they started doing the trailer is what tipped it, because it was an abandoned trailer up on some piece of property, and it had not all of the Wagner's belongings, but a great deal of them. And there was this plastic tote, and inside it was the receipt. And then there also were some search warrants served at the Wagner's old property. And
I believe they found the silencers and stuff too, didn't they?
They did find, they found a gun and a silencer in a well, but they also were out there with metal detectors. And one of the guns that was used was like made in like 1911. It's like a very specific, rare-ish firearm, and they found shell casings out at the property.
I can't find the 2 who lied. It just says, and 2 more who lied. I know one was the grandma, but I can't find.
Yeah, who is the number 6? Oh, that's gonna bug me.
So they they were there like 7 or 8 months, and then the heat started. It started getting too hot for them, so they booked.
Didn't they
and then
come back from Alaska? Weren't they back for some reason when they got caught?
Yes.
I think they thought maybe they were in the clear because nothing had happened.
I think exactly. And then they came back because initially George and his new wife were tried to buy a home in Missouri, and the mortgage fell through. They couldn't get lending. The lender said no, they were denied. And so that's what brought George and his new wife back to Ohio.
And what made Ellie start looking their way at the very beginning?
Well, there were some lies told from the very beginning.
Fake custody documents too.
Yeah, and Jake said that he and Hannah had a great relationship. They were friendly, and everything was just peachy keen jelly bean. And upon interviewing other witnesses, that they determined that was a whole ass lie, and that he wasn't fine with Hannah being with anybody else. He was livid. He was angry about it, and he was abusive.
Yeah, I don't know, that's wild. 8 people and they left the kids.
I know.
I'm not trying to be morbid or cruel or what. Well, I don't even care. They're killers. There's no telling what kind of secrets that family has.
Right.
Just listening to how obsessed, and then the mama wants all of the grandkids to call her mama, and
yeah, she's a strange bird.
Like her. Yeah, and pulling grandma in on it, and then not one of these people having the good and decent conscience in them to say, no, what the heck is wrong with y'all?
So this explains it pretty well. It says, in June 2017, Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine and authorities from the Bureau of Criminal Investigation announced during a press conference they were seeking information about the members of the Wagner family who had left Pike County for Alaska not long after the murders. The Wagner and Roden families were known to be close by locals, as Hannah Roden had been in a prior relationship with Jake Wagner, who was also the biological father of Sophia. While the authorities didn't specify exactly why, but were looking for anyone who may have knowledge about the state of the relationship between the two families at the time of the murders, which was previously described as close and on good terms. No one was named a suspect at the time. However, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation searched the property the Wagners had sold.
Yeah.
Just as quick as Mike DeWine announced he was seeking additional information into the Wagner family, another year would pass with no further developments. He did, however, throw his hat into a 2018 governor's race that later secured the Republican nomination. Hold on, let me skip that. The Pike County coroner and prosecutor fought relentlessly to keep the autopsy reports away from the public. Numerous media outlets filed suit, or they filed a Freedom of Information Act, I guess, to get it. And then numerous media outlets filed suit after. Unfortunately, the circuit courts ruled to keep the report sealed. The decision later upheld by appeals court. The order then this past September, the decision was somewhat overturned by Supreme Court of Ohio, who ordered that the media could review the autopsies, photos, and coroner notes. But while doing so, they cannot take notes. The revelations were a game changer, in my opinion. First, if the murders and non-precise details released weren't horrific enough, this demonstrated that the killings were much more personal than previously thought, which is because they all were shot like a lot of freaking times. Like,
yeah, 5,
6. I think Chris was shot 9 times.
Yeah.
So it made people start to think, oh, this is like super personal because of how many times they were shot. If it was the cartel, it probably wouldn't have been that way.
Right. They're trying to get in and get out.
Mm-hmm.
So the Sophia was gone when the murders happened, but when they moved to Alaska, did they get custody of Sophia, or was she with somebody else?
That I don't know.
I don't know either. I know the
child they're fighting about, did they end up because after the murders, did they
I don't
get
think
her?
that they ever did get custody. No, to be honest with you, I don't.
They tried.
They did.
I think they showed fake documents to police, but the police ended up catching on that their documents weren't real. I don't know what it was in the documents. They share them in court. I think there's actually a picture of them on Twitter I can show you. But it is quite obvious that whoever entered these homes had a great deal of familiarity at the alleged grow house, which had 2 pit bulls present. Like, they knew what they were doing when they got there.
Knew exactly. And they also took the DVRs that record from the cameras and destroyed those too. But the thing that's the most messed up to me, and I'm waiting for the autopsy or not for the autopsy, but for the medical examiner's testimony, because I don't know how close they were when they fired these weapons at Hannah Gilly and Frankie Roden, and then Hannah Mae Roden, because this is what makes me think that the babies being there is a setup, because do you know how wrong that could have gone if let's say they were firing from the doorway of the bedroom and the baby was in the bed? It's an absolute miracle, if that's the way it happened, that the babies didn't get hit.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking an awful risk doing that. You know what I mean? That's why
they knew exactly what was going to be there and who potentially was going to be there. And
right. But I find it very difficult to believe that they opened fire on Hannah, and then Hannah and Frankie with those babies in that bed. I think those babies were put there afterwards.
Yeah, you know what I think?
What?
I think that the last thing you just said is absolutely right. I think that everybody was sleeping, and then when they killed the mothers, they went and got the baby wherever it was, in a crib, different room, same room, and put it in the bed and it, made them get where they could breastfeed, because they didn't know how long before the bodies would be found.
I found go ahead.
So they want the babies to survive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they put him there on purpose after the fact, I think.
I think I do. I agree, and I think it was done probably both to keep. Because think about it. If you've got a crime, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it was done both for like sinister, evil reasons, but also to keep the babies alive, which is such a dichotomy in and of itself. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Well, I mean, even though they're like mass kill, like, family annihilators and everything, you could look at it that they didn't have anything against the little kids.
This is true.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
right?
they had a motive
They were
I think,
innocent.
for each one.
They were innocent, right? They weren't the other people. So,
That's
I
true.
mean, if you
That's
look
a good
at
point.
if you look at it that way,
That's a good point. I didn't really think about it like that. It's just also
So
for
both
nothing.
both grandmas were arrested.
That's
for-
it. They involve both Mimas. That's what it was.
Yep.
Sorry. Yep.
They involved both grandmas. Rita Newcomb, which
Mima?
was
That's a
Angela.
Southern thing. A Mima. Mima, Peepaw, Papa, Mama.
is there a Yuma, a Yuma, and they ma?
Shima, Hema.
I think I had a
Yama.
I think I had a Yuma once.
Yuma. So, hold on, let me look at these.
Brittany, you're from the South. You better get over here and defend me, knowing that Mima is a term in the South.
It is. I've heard it before. I'm a northern.
How far south? Because I grew up in Florida.
Oh, did you?
Actually, my kids called their grandma Mima. That is
Thank
a very,
you.
very strong term in the South. There's more Mimas than grandmas here.
I grew up in Texas, and I definitely heard Mima,
Yes.
Papa, Mama, all my life.
Now it's Jima.
I'm a Grammy. That's what my
Grammy.
grandkids call me, Grammy. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be something different too.
Well, I like Grammy because it's kind of cute, but it's also an award, So
Yeah.
I feel like I deserve to be an award.
You're like golden. You're like
Right.
golden and shiny, right? And
That's right.
shiny.
Like I'm a little chubby ball of wonderful. Why shouldn't I be named that? Why shouldn't I pick an award?
A chubby ball of wonderful.
So
I
this
like
is how
Grammy.
they're tying Jake. They got a picture
Oh
off
God.
the backup of his phone of him holding the gun, I guess. And you can see his tattoo right here, which links him to him having that gun. And that's the gun they found. They connected to the homicide and that ring tattoo that he got with Hannah.
Is that a 9mm?
It's a 22 caliber or Colt 1911 22 caliber long rifle. That doesn't look like a rifle to me.
No, that's not a 22. That
That's
looks like a 9.
That's the one on the, if you're looking at it, it's our top left. That is a Glock. 9mm,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know why it says a long rifle on here.
Magazine
I think
holds
that's
16.
something like that. I think that's the other picture, babe. Oh no, I see what you're saying. I see he's holding it now.
He's holding
It's
it.
weird,
But
huh?
down here it says a long rifle. It's definitely not a long rifle because I know
That sure is not a long rifle.
So, well, that's how they're connected. All right, here we go. Here's where they talk about all the evidence. Let me go back.
That's why they were shot so many times.
All right, here's
Texas
Way more
Troy-
than necessary.
Texas Troy said it's not a Glock. No, I'm real familiar with 9mm. They're actually, the shell isn't much bigger than a 22 caliber. And like, if you got to hit somebody just right, unless you're like close range. But if you're like even across the room, you got to pretty much pump 4 or 5 into them to make sure.
All I know
it's
is
really easy to survive with like a 1 or 2 9mm shots. It's pretty easy to survive unless they hit you just right.
all I know from the opening statements is that a Glock was used. That's the attorney's words, the state's words. That 1911 and an SKS. Those were the murder weapons.
And
That's
the
all I
LR is
know.
the caliber. It's a 22 LR 1911.
Yeah.
So Devil is saying it's not a Glock. It is a long rifle. It's the caliber. And long rifle is the caliber. It's a 22 LR 1911. Yeah, that's what it said. All right.
So it's
Okay,
a
now
45.
Elvis for
Yeah.
So it's a 45 or a 38. They're saying probably a 45.
I think 45 is the right number because now that's coming back to me. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know a ton
45 is
about them.
45 is a whole different ball game than a 9mm. Yeah, that'll do
Yeah.
some damage.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm not a big. I mean, I know some guns, but I'm not a big gun person. I don't know.
Right. I can't identify a gun. I do know how to shoot a gun.
Yes, same. So these are all the victims, and then here is a helpful family tree that they made. So Frederica Wagner, charges of obstructing justice and perjury dropped. She's Billy Wagner's mom. So Billy Wagner's, Jake's dad. And then Rita Newcomb, charged with obstructing justice and perjury, took a plea deal. That's Angela Wagner's mom. Billy and Angela are married. Billy's charged with multiple counts of aggravated murder, has maintained a plea of not guilty. Angela Wagner, charged with multiple counts of aggravated murder. So she's charged with murder too, even though she was there because she did the plan. She pled guilty to avoid the death penalty. George Wagner is their older son. He's charged with multiple counts of aggravated murder, has maintained a plea of not guilty. Jake Wagner, charged with multiple counts of aggravated murder, pled guilty to avoid the death penalty. They have a child. He has a child with Hannah. Hannah's mom is Dana. Dana and Chris are married. That's her brother. That's her brother. He was engaged to her. Brother and cousin. That helps. For anyone who's still confused, that's the whole
shebang.
I'm going to save this.
You should.
Yeah.
It'll be necessary.
Did you draw that?
No, it's on Twitter. They made it in court. Like it's like a court. In court, they did this so you can follow along easier. Or unless this guy did it.
It's hard I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching the trial since it started, and it's kind of hard to follow along with because so many of the witnesses. I'm not judging like the family that's witnesses, right, for opting out. I don't blame them. I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be filmed either, or even have my audio played. But a ton of law enforcement officers, all like 3 or 4 of them, including the new sheriff. So the sheriff at the time of the murders, Sheriff Redding is his name. He's in big trouble now. He has been charged and convicted of stealing, embezzlement, money, cars. He had a gambling problem or whatever. So obviously he's disgraced. But the newly elected, or I guess she's not that new, but anyway, she is an elected sheriff. She opted out of her testimony being filmed or even the audio shared. And I find that to be annoying and inexcusable because she ran for office. All right. So don't play with me and act like you were never on TV. You never gave a public speech. You know what I'm saying? Why are you opting out? Do you want to remain anonymous? Because the anonymity won't be forever.
Yeah.
The court records, unless the judge seals them forever, the transcripts will come out. So we'll all know what the testimony was. The family and friends that are testifying, those people get a pass, and I don't blame them at all. I wouldn't want to, testify either and have it be videoed or what and broadcast and streamed and all that, but not law enforcement. That's ridiculous.
So on the killer side, all you have is the married couple, each one of their mothers, and then the two sons.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it works?
That's how it works.
That's crazy that all them other people got involved over that Jake.
Yeah, it's bizarre. They all went along with it.
Texas going to school us about guns.
Yeah, text.
He's gonna tell us.
I don't know about that. Is my mic working?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know much about this case. I just kind of woke up to the stream. But when I see a gun on there and then people are like going off about it's a Glock or not, and it's no disrespect, but that was a 1911, and I mean, I guess they could be chambered in 22 LR, which is long rifle, and that's the caliber of the actual ammunition. But it was definitely a 1911 if we went back to that picture. And
in 1911, you can chamber with a 38 or a 45, right?
I'll get back to that picture. It's like down the list. It goes back to that picture. So
yeah,
we'll
it's
get
usually
back.
45 ACP or 38 Super. I mean, nowadays you can get them in 9mm. You can get them in all sorts of calibers, but
It looks like a 9 to me.
shoot, it's so hard to tell when it's just one little.
And then for you ladies, the difference between the reason they call it a 22 LR is because that they're long shells for a rifle and pistols take shorts.
Right. Yeah. For the most
Oh my
part.
God.
Yeah. You can have 22 shorts too. They're really cute.
Right.
Wow.
Defensive
Oh,
wounds.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he was awake, babe.
I didn't know he actually tried to like fight them.
Yes.
I know he had like wood in his head from standing in the doorway or whatever, but that's wild. So
Yeah.
he was shot 8 times with a 40 cal in the stomach, the chest, 6 in the face,
Mm-hmm.
and had defensive wounds. That's wow. And his
Yeah, they
last
filled him up.
outgoing call was to Billy Wagner. So that's, I don't know how they didn't figure that out sooner if his last call was to him. This is pretty, I didn't know I didn't see all this last night. I wish I would have saw all this last night.
I think, Kate, what happened is it took time in order to subpoena phone records and stuff on both sides, because I know that the Wagners destroyed their phones, or some were destroyed and like 1 or 2 were not.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they did the most, this family, the Wagners.
Gary was the cousin who was at the house with Chris, right? He was like with him.
Yes.
Yeah, he had no children, no known girlfriend. He was legally married to Valerie Roden and has been for 11 years. However, they have not lived together for the past 5. I guess he worked with Chris.
Mm-hmm.
They worked at Big Bear Lake Construction. He was shot 4 times in the face. Trigger warning, guys. Sorry, I should have said that first. But Dana had just worked a double shift and texted Chris Sr. multiple times late that night. He never answered. She was shot 4 times in the head. Why? So many shots to the head for each person.
Yeah.
So she texted him at 3:32 a.m. So we know it was between 3:32 and 7:49.
Right.
Because, that was her last text. So
If we know,
did they say the call?
Yeah, that's what we need to find. See if it's in the tweet. If we can find when, what time Billy or Chris called Billy. At what time?
10:55 p.m. Last outgoing contact on 0501 phone, unless he had a different phone.
Because I know that he had called the night before, and that's how they arranged the meeting. But there is another call.
So maybe that's the call to the night before, but they said that's the last one. Maybe, I wonder if he had a different phone. And it says it was routed to voicemail. It doesn't say anything after that. That's strange. All right, hold on. Well, we know it's after 3:32 a.m. at least.
Yeah.
So Frankie Roden was dating. So this is the older one, Frankie. He was engaged to Hannah Gilly, planned to marry her. She is the mother to his son Ruger, who was found alive in their bed. Their other son, Brentley, was also there when he and Hazel were killed. He was the one who unlocked the door and basically said, like,
yes,
there's blood all over my dad.
Yep.
This is Hannah. That's his fiance. Oh, wait, I didn't see. He was shot twice in the head, Frankie. She was shot 5 times in the face. Jesus. Okay, her last outgoing text was to her sister at 12:59. And then this is Hannah Roden, whose daughter Sophia with Jake Wagner is in the custody battle at the center of this case. Her current boyfriend, Corey, it wasn't Colin, it was Corey, was supposed to be with her that night too. Her 4-day-old daughter was found alive with her. So last outgoing text to Corey is at 10 p.m. She was shot twice in the head. Chris, the youngest, he just had his license. He was shot 4 times in the head. So it seems like whoever had the 22 was just shooting people 4 times. It's almost like everyone who she got with the 22, never mind. Because some are all shot in the head like 4 times. It's strange to me.
Because one won't do it. The 22 is only a little bit bigger than a pellet gun. They're really super small.
Yeah, but in the head though?
There's people that have tried to commit or unalive themselves, and they put the gun right to their head and pull the trigger, and the projectile actually goes around their skull, around their skull, and pops out the other side. It doesn't go through. It won't even go through their skull.
Oh,
At
wow.
point blank, that's happened like way more than once. Yeah. So I can see why they pump so many in them.
So, all right, it says Chris Sr. was the intended target. Gary was killed because he was there. Frankie knew Hannah had complained of Jake's violence, so that's why Frankie was killed. Hazel was collateral damage. Hannah was killed because she wouldn't return Jake Wagner's love. Chris and Dana knew about his threats and violence too. Kenneth Roden was killed because he would have known it was the Wagners. Like, he would have known it was them who did it. So that's why they killed Kenneth.
Unbelievable.
And also, Kenneth had a habit of going, he didn't have running water at his trailer. So it wasn't really a trailer, it was more like a camper, but he had a habit of going every morning before work. He would go and shower at Kenneth's or at Chris Sr.'s house. And also, he also knew about the phone call and the meeting between Billy and Chris Sr. He knew about that.
And he didn't say anything about it?
Well, no, babe, because they shot him. Kenneth was shot.
Okay.
They knew that he knew about it, and they knew that he would have outed them, so he had to be killed too.
Unbelievable.
So they meet at a fair. She's 13 and he's 18. They get engaged, but Chris Sr. won't let her marry until she's 18, and they get wedding ring tattoos. She gets pregnant at 15. Jake is 20. The first sign of trouble, he texts her before Sophie's even born and says, "I'll take Sophie if I have to by force," trying to get Hannah to live with him. So I guess he wanted Hannah to go live there, and she didn't want to go.
Well,
so,
she did sort of stay there, but in December of 2014, that was the last holiday she spent with the Wagner family, and that's right around the time of the split up. So yeah, she did live there, but
he choked her, and that's why she left.
Yeah, there's some domestic violence incident, but the Wagners had very strict rules, and how all of this, how the custody thing even came out is because Hannah was Facebook messaging with Tabitha's mother, and Angela Wagner hacked into the Facebook account, I believe of Tabitha's mother, and read the message, screenshot the message.
Yeah, her saying they'll have to kill me first, right?
Yes, and screenshot it and showed it to Jake, and that is what kicked all of this off. Was a damn Facebook message.
Yeah, so basically she left because he tried to choke her, and the controlling nature of Jake and their family, and they wanted Sophie to call Angela mom even when Hannah was there. And then the Wagners, In late 2015, the Wagners lawyer up and try to get Hannah to sign custody of Sophia to Jake. She refuses. George Wagner, the fourth ex-wife Tabitha, who escaped them, Angela threw a 2x4 at her. They filed DV charges against her. She and George had a son, Bullvine. It was one of the historically worst custody agreements ever seen. The custody agreement for Tabitha included only visiting her son with George Bullvine. So she could only visit her son with George Bullvine when the Wagners said so. So basically, like, they were in charge of when she saw her kids.
Yep.
Her mom, Tess, sends Hannah a private message on Facebook telling her not to sign custody. Hannah says they will have to kill me first. So basically, that's what she's saying, that Angela hacked into the account, got the message, and they seen her say that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they're like, okay, we need to kill her and start this plan.
Yep. That's what kicked all this off. DMs, the damn DMs, always trouble.
How did this woman hack into some random well, it wasn't random, but hacking?
It's not that hard really to hack into somebody's Facebook if you know them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, she probably could figure out how to get in there by, like, she knows, like, her birthday or things like that. A lot of people use.
Or if a phone was left unattended and the app is on the phone, all you got, and there's no lock screen, all you got to do is open the phone and there's your Facebook.
Yeah.
Or somebody's birthdays and all of their, like,
or their phone number.
Yeah.
Talking about DMs, man, I'm gonna be in trouble because all you ladies are gonna be blowing me up.
Not this lady. I learned my lesson. DMs are trouble. Look at this.
Yeah.
That is so true. That is very true.
And how many YouTube wars are started due to bullshit in the DMs every single time? It starts out with shit. It starts out with shit talking. So the first creator shit talks the second creator. The second creator has a rebuttal shit talk, and by the third live, the screenshots of the DMs are out. Mm-hmm.
It's battle of the shit talks.
Yup. Fuck the DMs.
So Bobby Joe goes to Frank. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Bobby Joe finds Chris Sr. and Gary. The furniture was askew, and there was lots and lots of bloods. Men have been drugged to bedroom floor, partially covered in comforter. She thought they had been beaten. She then goes to Frankie's house. His son Brentley answers the door and tells her, "Daddy has a lot of blood." Oh, that kills me.
I know.
She finds Frankie and Hazel in bed, dead. Says Hazel had been nursing the 6-month-old Ruger at the time of her death. He was covered in blood. Bobby Joe's brother, James, found Dana dead. She was in the bed. He thought she was sleeping after a double shift, but he lifted the pillow covering her face and could tell it was sticking to her face. And then law enforcement arrives on scene as Bobby Joe left Frankie's trailer. They had to pass it on the way to Chris Sr.'s and saw her outside. James Bailey could hear the 5-day-old baby Kiely crying when he found Dana, but couldn't bring himself to go find her before calling for help. Kenneth was found later. Family had tried calling him, but he had bad cell reception on Left Fork Road and worked in Columbus, often not checking his phone. Eventually, the family went to his trailer and found him shot in bed. There is still some dispute about county lines and maps showing this happened in either Pike or Adams County or both. Chris Sr.'s trailer, investigators found a .40 caliber shell and fully jacketed .30 caliber round the next day, plus shoe prints in the blood. We heard from the state's shoe print expert in an earlier hearing. Investigator later found that shoe at Walmart, which is the same shoe that matched up with the receipt, right?
Yes.
I think this was the silencer thing they made.
That's where their plan. That's where their plan got foiled. What's the mom's name that went and bought the shoes?
Angela.
Angela. Listen, Angela, how you about to go to Walmart on camera and buy some murder shoes to go into a murder truck? You know what I'm saying? Without getting caught.
They didn't think things through well enough, it sounds like.
Well, this is what
they can go. All they do is go to Walmart or Meijer or wherever, and they just have the UPC
yeah.
or the brand and make a shoe, and they can pull up every sale all
Yes.
the way back. And as soon as their name pops up, oh, we know who the perpetrators are.
So this is how that happened. All right. So the crime scene tech, they actually cut the floor with the prints out. Okay. And she goes and analyzes it. And you know that they have like a database of shoe prints, right? Like brands of shoes and what kind of prints they leave. Well, so she's looking at it and it's not in the log or whatever, right? But what she notices is on further inspection, it's actually two shoe prints. One is a 10.5 and one is an 11. And then she sends it out to the like the guru of shoe prints. Okay. And the guy, he's going to testify. And the guy that she sends it to basically says these shoes are brand new or hardly worn. This is where that's where they messed up. Is it the hardly worn? So this tech starts going around to different places where they sell shoes and ends up at Walmart finally. Okay. And then she's looking at the men's shoes and that's how she sees this tread. Right. So then they subpoena Walmart, right? And they get their records for shoes sold, that shoes in that size sold, in a certain amount of time, and they pull it. And then they get Angela Wagner's ass on camera doing it. And then later they find the receipt in the tote. Like, why would you keep the receipt? What, for tax purposes, bitch? What are you doing?
Well, even without the receipt, just going to Walmart and buying them on camera, you're a hit.
Yeah, but the receipt is what really sealed the deal.
Receipt. I would have burned that receipt. Like, they burned everything but that damn receipt. Like, how stupid can you be if you bought shoes?
Right. And this is her excuse. This is what she says. She said she bought the shoes for her boys, but they didn't like them, so she threw them away. She didn't return them, she threw them away. And that just makes no sense. They're not, I mean, the total price for both pairs was like $30. But why would you throw them away? Why wouldn't you either give them away or return them or something? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
the investigators tracked the same Glock used at Chris Sr.'s and Kenneth's based on shell casings. The 22 caliber casings found at Frankie's and Dana's, only one casing found at Dana's. It was under the crib and had a maze room. Came from a Colt long rifle. So I guess that's the one we were just talking about. Oh, here's history. So the 22. So basically, in a nutshell, Jake's gun was the casings found at Dana's house. Because that's the gun he had in his pictures. The 22.
Yes.
The long rifle. I mean, they could probably place who did who. Like who did what by their casings. Like that sounds like Jake was, did the Hannah Mae ones. And then Chris Roden was shot with both a high power rifle and a 40 caliber Glock. Autopsy show he was shot standing in the doorway because he had pieces of wood in his head too. Investigators deduced silencer suppressor was used because it didn't look like anyone woke up after the first shot at each location. So the silencer worked then, I guess. Besides Chris. Was anyone sleeping at Chris? Nobody was sleeping there, so it must have been at the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that killer knew Roden. Security cameras were removed. Dogs were present. Recent move. The attention turned to Wagner's as they found inconsistencies. Jake said things were good with him and Hannah Mae. Billy said Chris Sr. was his best friend and he tried to call him many times. And they had records showing that these were lies. BCI found a matching 22 caliber shell casing at the Wagner property on Peterson Road the same day they moved to Alaska. Next day, they find more. Unique impression directly ties it to the gun used to kill Chris Jr., Dana, and Hannah. So, the 22 is the one Jake had, right? The 22 is the one we were talking about, right, Texas?
Mhm.
If you're listening. So then Jake killed Chris Jr., Dana, and Hannah, in my opinion. And well, they have special grooves on each. Thanks for coming up, Texas. And you're welcome to come up anytime.
Hey, Kate, before you keep going, I got to get off, babe. I got to get to bed. It's school
All
night. I got to get up early. I don't know how you girls do it. I'm too old for this shit.
I'll be over in the morning for.
All right.
I'll be there at like 9 o'clock. Well,
All right, babe. All right, don't worry. Just whenever you get there.
I turned into a pumpkin 50 minutes ago.
My body is like, bitch, what you doing? You know you ain't built for this shit no mo.
Wish I didn't stay up later.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for having me up, Kate.
Thanks
Good night,
for coming
friends.
back.
It was good seeing you.
It was good seeing you too, Brittany. Good night. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
There isn't much left. Basically, they talk about the gym shoes that she's
Oh,
talking
she's
about.
funny. You really got to go watch her channel. She's
She's got the info. She's like informed on it pretty good.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's the most informed person on cases that I've ever talked to.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something else she does, Scotty, that you like. She roasts. Like she'll do the roast of Courtney Love. She did the roast of Nicole Kessinger. The funniest shit I ever heard.
She roasts them, huh?
She sat through their she sat through Jodi Arias' interrogation and Nicole Kessinger's, and she did roast on those. And then I think they roasted Courtney Love one night. It was great.
That's cool. I'll
Courtney
go on.
Love, she's a mess. Oh, these are the custody documents they forged. Hold on. Trying to see. What's this? Okay, here we go. So they seized Angela's laptop, right? And it had instructions on how to make a silencer from a mag light like they do in The Walking Dead. So they made like they looked up how to make silencers at like The Walking Dead, and they made them. They purchased ski mask, SKS ammo, and a phone jammer. What does a phone jammer do?
Blows the signal apart.
You think maybe it's something that'll block you from being able to dial out?
Yeah, it blows. It's like scatters
so they
the signal.
Call 911.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I had a thought, like when you first started your stream, Kate, and you were playing that 911 call.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird with the technology we have now. Wouldn't it be awesome if 911 calls were like FaceTime, where the video was on automatically when you called on the phone?
It'd be so much
automatically, like both cameras automatically came on so that it recorded. You know what I mean? Like or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
I'll tell you what, that would get a lot of people in trouble, like Alex Murdaugh for one.
You'd be caught like hands down right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did Texas Troy come up?
Yeah, he came up for a minute and talked about the the gun.
Oh my God! I freaking went. I had to put my phone on and go in the laundry room and get the boys' clothes out of the washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
You would come up when I was away from my phone.
He was having phone trouble a little bit though.
Dang it!
They said 30 caliber, but keep mentioning 22 long rifle. Got you. I was just reading your private thing, Troy, in the private chat.
Yeah,
so
J-Lo had one of them phone blockers. Remember that one movie? What was that called?
Oh, enough.
Yeah, she snuck in that damn house.
Yeah, you're right.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
See, this just shows like how meticulous they did. I mean, they made silencers. They got a phone jammer, ski mask.
But they were still too dumb not to buy shoes from Walmart.
Yeah, they went to Walmart and bought shoes.
Dyed their hair dark the week before the homicides, and at 7 p.m. that night, so before they went, they watched. Have you guys seen Boondock Saints? Do you want me to play this thing. You know, when they go, he go, ding dong, motherfucker. Hold on, I'll play it for y'all.
Technically, you don't have to be nervous. It's really not that bad. It's like you're on a phone call.
Ah, shoot, hold on.
Ding dong, motherfucker! Ding dong!
Ding
They
dong.
they watched that video
Shut it.
before they went.
Oh, fuck.
They watched that video before they went and did the murders. I guess to hype themselves up. I don't know. Oh, Texas, it's just like a conversation up here. I was nervous the first time I went on panel, but then after you go on panel a couple of times, it's not so bad. Now it's like a conversation.
I was scared to go. I was scared to go on panel. I stayed in chat for like a long time, like a year, and then I got my nerve up to go on panel, and then all of a sudden I was like, they wanted me to make my own page, and like so going live is totally different than just being on a panel. You know what I mean? Like when you're on a panel, you can kind of relax and it's not your show.
Yeah.
But then when you're live, you got to like run it, you know?
Yeah, running it is different. You got to make sure you have like. I remember the first time I was like, I felt like I had enough content to like do my first live, and I was so nervous I ran through it in like a half hour, and I was like, oh my god, like what do I do?
And like I don't know if you noticed, but like Zab's losing control of her lives because she's growing so fast and her chat's moving. She can't keep track of her super chats. You know what I mean? Like she's gonna have to slow down and get a handle on it because I see it happening.
Chat down. You could slow the chat down, but you know what? I can't stand being in lives where the chat's slow down because I'll be writing something and then I'll send it and it'll be like, you can't send
Red line.
it for 8 more seconds. And it'll be this long ass message I wrote up.
And you gotta rewrite it because you can't copy and paste it.
It's so annoying. It happens I hate it. It drives me nuts.
You start when you got 4K in chat, you know, and then you've got multiple screens, right?
Yeah,
and then
you
you're
have
talking.
to.
Yeah, you can't keep you can't even read. You lose chat because it's flying.
So
yeah,
they said Jake fancied himself as Norman Reedus, the guy. You know who Norman Reedus is, right? From Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
And the guy with the longer hair from Walking Dead and Boondock Saints. He said he looked like him, so he fancied himself as a Norman Reedus lookalike. He's the actor in Boondock Saints 2, and The Walking Dead.
You know who everybody says I look like?
Who?
Matthew McConaughey.
Really?
The Cadillac Man, yeah.
I like Matthew McConaughey. I get somebody just told me this the other day, and I was like, I could totally see that. Did you ever see General Hospital?
Like when I was 5, when my mom had it on. I don't know.
Girl in there, Sam McCall. And they said I look like her, and I'm like, I could see that. I've gotten that. I've gotten Marissa Tomei, and I've gotten Catherine Zeta-Jones, I've been told. I don't think I look like either of them. But I could see Sam McCall from General Hospital. Back, I had to do some things and change my pick to the most gun bunny BS I could find on me. It's great. It's your entire job. I have to do all the science shits too. Well, good. You, Elvis, and Troy are going to be my resident firearms experts if I ever need one. Describing the surveillance of Hannah Mae's social media, she says a screenshot of Hannah's message to Tabitha's mom saying they'll have to kill me first was taken almost in real time. So, wait, they seen the message in real time and took a screenshot of it? Or maybe they had like an iPad. You know how like your iPad you can have it like an iPad and a phone, and you'll get message simultaneously on both. Maybe she had an iPad at their house and it popped on the screen, or they had it sending her messages to their phone, which is super creepy if she had her messages being forwarded to her phone.
My computer does that though. Like when my phone, if I get a Facebook message, my computer dings. Like at the same time, you know what I mean? At the same time.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like the mom somehow was getting the Facebook messages that Hannah got somehow. She was either looking at her phone but they said the screenshot was taking almost in real time, which I'm taking as like the mom took a screenshot of that message at the same time that it came through. So it sounds like to me the mom
Right when it was sent.
Yeah, the mom was receiving them right as it was sent. So it sounds like she had it going to her phone, which is crazy. That lady is crazy. All right, so Jake's wife Beth Ann, who he married in Alaska, she and George's ex-wife Tabitha both described abuse. Say Angela would discuss what kind of intimate relationship they could have. And they accused Beth Ann of abusing Sophia. So I guess maybe they did have custody of Sophia if they accused Beth Ann of abusing her. Because then Sophia had to be in their custody, I suppose. Wiretaps catch George telling Jake his honesty has gotten them into trouble, mocking God. Jake was religious, and telling Jake he should have smashed his laptop and chucked his phone. George turned he and Jake's R&L carrier truck around when the BCI agent texted them the photo of Jake holding the Colt 1911. George is caught in wiretap, calling it a family emergency. Says George turned he and Jake's George bought. Sorry, I keep having to like clear my throat. It's bothering me. George bought into the threats and accusations against Beth Ann. He's on wiretap saying she's a threat to Sophia and Bullvine. Hey. You're muted. Back from lunch. Special prosecutor. Hold on. All right, so here's the silencer. A photo of a burned silencer components found inside a cistern by a Franklin. What's a cistern? Like a pond? By a Franklin County dive team. This was from Frederica's Flying W Ranch. So Frederica is the grandma. And they... What is a cistern? I've never heard that one. Toilet thing?
Does Troy got, Texas Troy, you got action figures behind you? That reminds me of that ad, you know, the one with the action figures, and he goes, "What's your wallet?"
A tank for storing water. One supplying tap. Oh, okay. So it's a water tank on the farm. James, hold on. Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
I was.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm on my PC now. I'll shut up.
You can talk if you want.
We could see it too till I said something.
Yeah, we could see it for a minute. Did you have action figures?
Yeah, I have lots of action. Hey, those are my kids. All right.
That's cool.
Hey, I had Star Wars action figures.
I got lots of skulls, so we all collect something.
Oh man, I have too much stuff.
Why am I still drinking this right now? I'm thirsty.
I feel you. I'm on a Red Bull kick for sure. Well, I guess I had Sprite earlier, so.
It doesn't really like affect me anymore. I'm just drinking
why do they keep saying 30 caliber, right? So that in a 1911, that's going to be a 38 super most of the time. Devil Dies can hit me, you know. Let us know too, but
they're also saying it's a 22 now, though.
And they're also saying it's a 22 long rifle, and then they're saying it's a 40 cal Glock as well.
Oh no, I think there's several different guns they're referring to. So each had their own gun. I think one was the 22.
Okay.
One was a high-powered rifle, and then the other one was a Glock.
Okay.
I think.
And whatever the 22 was most of the killings was the 22.
I mean, people get killed with 22s every day, so you can't.
Oh yeah.
Well, the 22 was Jake's because he has a picture of himself holding the 22.
Yeah, I mean, you can't underestimate the 22 long rifle.
Yeah.
No, not a long rifle. You can't. No.
No.
Elvis is.
I
not
got a bolt action with a scope for rabbits.
Yep. Oh man, I don't want to turn this into the gun show though. So
Right. We'll
Well,
stop.
So when you shoot a bolt, like so every gun has a certain like when it shoots the bullet, they'll leave a specific groove in the bullet, correct?
that's
Like,
because it's a lands and groove rifling, and most do. Most leave a specific pattern. Now, when you're talking about the Glock, it doesn't have a lands and grooves rifling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different, so it's a lot harder for police. For them to match it. It's a little different rifling. So if you actually look into it, I mean, it's common knowledge.
So Texas is telling us how to get away with murder.
No.
Well, if you think the easiest way to think about
Not at all.
the easiest way to think about the pattern, like how they match the bullet to the barrel, is if you scrape two cars, like a fender bender.
Basically, yeah.
You know how it leaves the scrapes and the paint, like from the bumper? Well, whatever nicks are in that bumper is going to leave them same little lines in every car it touches. You see what I'm saying? Because the bumper has certain defects in it, right? So that's what the lands and grooves are in the barrel. It's all the defects, and when the bullet flies out, it makes their lines on the projectile, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the machining of the barrel. That's all it is, and every single barrel is different.
Yeah, and Glocks are one of the hardest to determine because they don't have lands and grooves rifling. So it's a different kind. You can find those on H&Ks as well.
Interesting. So, what about? Hold on. What did they make the silencers out of? How do they do this?
The mag lights.
Yeah.
Mag lights and spray foam.
Flashlight? Like a flashlight?
It's a flashlight. It's like some Southern technology right there, man. That's some Texas.
So wait,
technology.
they just unscrew this top piece off, and then put that on the gun?
I'm not going to say that this is real life stuff, but apparently somebody did it, so it's possible.
Well, they looked it up on how to do it, and they had silencers, and they worked because they said the silencers. This was a burnt up silence, one of the burnt up ones they found in the lake or in the systems.
Yeah, they put whatever they put in it, whatever material they put in it.
Right.
It's like a muffler on a car.
Exactly.
Same kind of thing.
And it's not a silencer technically; it's a suppressor. But we won't go there. We can call it a silencer.
So basically, they just did it with a whole. That's crazy. You can make one with a flashlight.
You can make one with a potato, apparently, but.
Oh, really?
You got to be real redneck to try that.
I just use a Geo Metro muffler. That'd probably be good enough. That'd work good enough, I think.
Oh man.
So Rita, Angela's mom, I guess hold up. So they forged fake custody documents, and she told them Angela faked her notary on the forged documents and asked her to lie. So basically, Angela signed her name but asked her to cover for her. So her charges were lessened, I believe.
The grandmas.
Yeah. And then Jake Wagner's plea deal and what he gets explains Jake understands he will spend life in prison and must testify to take death penalty off the table for all. So if he testifies that they all avoid the death penalty, he seemed to be doing this to benefit his family. Jake?
I think it takes the death penalty off all his murder charges because he's got 8, right?
Oh, all his charges. I thought they meant like the whole family because they said it seems that he'd be doing this for his family. So I thought maybe they meant like if he testifies, his whole family avoids the death penalty. Maybe not. Or it could
I
be
don't know.
I don't know. He told investigators in confession that the idea to kill Hannah Mae came from his dad, Billy. Jake said he said no initially, but was encouraged by his parents. Originally, they were going to kill Hannah and make it look like her boyfriend Corey did it. The jury, Jake told them eventually the plan grew to include killing the whole Roden family, and that Jake will tell you freely that they knew there might be innocent people they'd have to kill too. Kanipa tells the jury, Jake says his family started planning the killings in January of 2016, about 1 month after they saw Hannah's comment about custody and they will have to kill me first. They described the idea of a fake drug deal so Chris Sr. would be expecting them. Says the boys bought a murder truck and built a false bed so they could stow away in it to go to Chris Sr.'s trailer. They wore ski masks and dark clothes that night. Jake will explain how they slithered out of the false truck bed. George had the SKS. So which one's the SKS?
SKS is going to be a rifle.
Okay, so he had the high power rifle then.
Oh yeah. And Devil Eyes makes a good point. This is what I was thinking of. The polygonal rifling of the Glock is what makes it different from Lambs and Grooves. Polygonal, polygonal. I don't know what y'all Northerners say.
It's still able to be determined by forensics. Only the early 90 Glocks were tricky. Gotcha. So,
yeah.
All right, where was I? All right,
SKS is only 22 caliber.
George had the SKS. The plan was George shoots Chris Sr. from a distance like a sniper in a fashion that Chris would never know what hit him or that Billy was betraying him. Jake told them George freezes because he can't see over. Oh, okay, so basically they were going to knock at the door and hide, and Chris was going to come out, and George was hiding, and he was going to shoot him from far away, but he panicked because he couldn't see over the silencer. And Billy comes over to ask why they haven't shot. Eventually, Billy shoots both Chris Sr. and Gary multiple times each. He's hysterical afterwards, saying, I just shot my best friend. Jake and Billy shot Chris Sr. and Gary. George and Billy drug their bodies into the bedroom. Jake will tell jury they took Chris Sr.'s truck to Dana's trailer, so they took Chris's truck. Jake shot her twice, then ran to shoot? What the heck does that mean? Ran to shoot. Oh, he messed up the wording. Ran to shoot Hannah, who had been nursing. So Jake shot Hannah too, I figured that. Nursing days-old daughter Kiely. They rearranged bodies so Kiely would nurse more as she could nurse more if she needed. Then he shot Dana more. Jake will tell them George acted as the getaway driver. So they're trying to make it seem like George wasn't in there. Or that George didn't do any of the killings. That he just dragged the body and that he was the getaway driver. They went from Dana's to Kenneth's. Billy killed Kenneth. Then they put Chris Sr.'s truck back, got into their murder truck, and went home, buried and burned evidence.
Damn, murder truck.
Yeah, they literally bought a truck just to do this, and they made
Is there a picture of it? I want to see this thing.
Let me see.
That one the cops were looking in when the 911 call was calling or played looked like a good one. Did you see that, Texas?
What's that?
When she was playing the 911 call, the news video, that black truck that was parked on the front.
I was half
I
in
don't
and out
think
of
their truck
consciousness.
would have still been there, though.
I woke up to Nate and Brittany, and they were talking, and then I heard 1911s and 22s and 30 calibers, and then I was like, I gotta hop on for a second.
I know you guys are going off on numbers in chat. I got like a 36 by 45 times 31R. I don't know.
Hey,
I got a 22 bolt action, and I got 2 Mossbergs, and I got a 9. That's all I really mess with.
I got a Beretta 9mm sitting by me right now, but that's just
I forgot to put Brittany's channel in. Let me put it.
You just shoot through the door and ask questions later.
I don't know if a 9mm is going to make it through the door, but
well, if you got 16 and 1 in the hole, you're probably all right.
I got 17 and 1 in the hole.
Oh, there you go. You're +1 over there.
Dang
you got 1 up on me. What the?
I don't know if we can curse on this channel, so
no, I don't.
Y'all can curse. I curse all the time.
I don't curse, so I'm I'm a square.
I curse all the time on here, to be honest.
It's all cool. You a Penn State fan or something like that, right?
Well, I'm from PA, so yeah.
Hey, I didn't try to dox you.
I'm a Philly fan, really.
The Eagles? Oh man, we got a problem because I'm a Cowboys fan, but
Man, no.
I know.
I'm a Red Wings fan.
You can boot me anytime, Kate.
No, it's all right. It's all
All
right. Leave me. You're still welcome. It's okay. Your text is Troy, so I mean, I can only have to expect it.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. That's true, though.
Right? Hold on one second.
For sure.
All right. Where was I? I got sidetracked for a second. Happens to me all the time. All right. I tried to find the murder truck, but I don't see it. But if I find a picture of the murder truck, I will for sure share it on my community post. And they planned the murders with the intent to get away with it. They didn't use phones. They rarely even talked about it. They burned and buried evidence. Weapons used were put in concrete used as anchors in the pond. And used as anchors in the pond at Flying W Ranch. Flying W Ranch is grandma's ranch. And Jake tries to minimize George and Angela's involvement. Yeah, Jake, they're trying to minimize George and Angela's involvement. Angela came forward September 2021, 5 months after Jake. They made offers to the other family members after Jake's statement. And Angela told investigators George started having nightmares after the killing. She told Billy, he said, "I don't know why he's having nightmares. He didn't kill anybody." She felt the plan was a lot to put on the boys. Angela told investigators the family was reluctant on the plan to kill the rodents, but went along with it because they would do anything to protect Sophia. Then they tried to play it off like Sophia was getting abused, but I'm pretty sure that she wasn't. And let me see. Jake's testimony that George wasn't involved. Jake and Angela's credibility. Incentives offered. Possible motives. How different George's. Yeah, so they're like, this is George's trial, and they're basically trying to like downplay his involvement. Angela's motive is unfounded belief Sophia was being molested. Jake's motive was jealousy and his abusive relationship to Hannah, and Billy's motive was drugs. Nash says George had no motive. So they're trying to say George didn't really have a motive.
This happened in Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking it up right. I'm sorry.
So George Wagner is so different from his family. He got into fistfights with his dad Billy. He ran away from home, and when he got his driver's license, but he came back. You know, they're just trying to like make him out to be like he was some angel. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But he's not.
Well,
I think he's
if he was there, if he was present, then he's just as
yeah. Oh well, he was supposed to
be.
be the one who shot Chris, like the sniper already, or whatever. But he didn't. He chickened out. But personally, I think he's just as guilty as the rest of them. But I'm working on a video that I'm gonna release I'm just gonna release the video without like a live to it, just because I'm gonna try and like do that with like cases I cover. But
that's a good idea.
Tomorrow, I will be on Jen Lou's channel, Case Studies, early for the trial because we're going to be following it. If you guys want to come over, I'll probably be like dead tired because I'm a night owl, but I'll do it.
Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be unconscious.
I know. Well, I usually take my kid to school and then I come home and then I like nap on the couch for a little bit, you know. But
what time will it be tomorrow?
It starts at 9. So
09 or 2100? Nighttime or daytime?
Daytime, 09, right?
Oh yeah.
Daytime,
yeah.
09.
Yeah.
You said 21. You said 2100. That I could see her mind rattle for about a half a second.
I had
I'm
to think about it
sorry.
for a minute. No, I know how it works, but I had to think
I
about
was
it.
in the military for 20 years, man. That's the only way I think is 24-hour clock. Like,
Yeah, I got to think
That's
about
all.
it for a second. I'm like, wait,
It's all
9
good.
is in the morning, so it'd be 09.
It's all good. I'll
Yeah, if
watch.
you guys want to come on and watch, that's where I'll be.
Of course.
Don't let her lie to you. She'll be up all night. I probably will be. You know what happens is I'll be getting ready to go to bed, and then one of these ladies will send me some link to some drama live, and then I'm up till 4 a.m. watching the mess on YouTube.
How hard do y'all work to find all this stuff? Like, because I don't mean to get off topic, but the Kylie Rodney
Okay.
case, y'all going deep. Like things.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when you got a bunch working together, like, or one channel with mods, or like these girls, there's like, how many of you are there? Like 5 or 6 of you guys that band
Yeah,
together.
we have like a chat where we're all sharing information and
Yeah, they all look and find stuff.
Yeah.
and then we kind of just like go over all the stuff we compile. We like to dig, you know.
For sure.
But I love, like, I get bored of cases quick and have to like do something else. So the Kylie one, I feel like I'm like, oh, I got to talk about.
Oh my gosh, man!
My brain is just so Kylie'd out. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's it's true life, and you can't just be laughing at. You know what I mean? Like, there's like some levity to it, but damn.
I know a lot. Like that's what people want to talk about. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I try and
But there's only so much you can go in circles about.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I try
topic.
and leave that open if people want to talk about it, but I do get excited about showing people other cases because, like, I can't just stick on one case. I'm not like that. I'm like, I gotta keep going.
Do you like to bring up cold cases a lot, or is it mostly what's in the media?
I love trial cases because I just like following like the motion. Like I really enjoyed the Morphew case, and I was so upset it didn't actually go to trial, but the pre-trial stuff.
Yeah.
Was awesome. Hey,
What do
baby,
you-
Allie's back.
What do you think about the Petito civil court case that's going to be going to civil court?
No, I always have the unpopular opinion, and I know people.
I have the unpopular opinion too. I think it's BS.
I think it is too. I feel bad for his parents, honestly.
Yeah.
I really like. I'm not saying. I don't know if they knew or not, but still,
You still have the right to not.
I got a whole different take. I got a whole different take on that case, but I can't say it on a panel because I'll get rocks thrown at me.
But they have the right to remain silent if they want to, and they don't have to say anything. And if they want to get a lawyer, they can get a lawyer. I've always been like pro. If you even sense that something's fishy, get a freaking lawyer.
Lawyer up.
Get a lawyer. Lawyer up. Always lawyer up.
Yep. That's why I think it's crazy that they're like talking about this Sammy, like she got a lawyer. That's not suspicious to me. That's
it's not suspicious to me at all. And I'm a cynic too, so I'll be the first person like, whoa, wait, why are we?
Well, she's got a couple 100,000 people on YouTube pointing their finger at her.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'd go get a lawyer too.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only person who's more of a cynic than I am is Scott.
Wait, is common conspiracy killer Big Al or Scotty Skulls?
It's Scotty
Skulls.
Dude, I saw your art. Oh man, bro.
Oh, you did. I know. That was a mistake. I was messing, and I didn't even know I clicked my camera on for a minute. And everybody's like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "What?"
Dude.
Everybody started freaking out.
Once you explain that picture right there, your avatar. Oh, I'm sorry. Kate, you do your thing.
I can't. On the screen to everybody else in chat, there's no picture. I think because I got it on my TV and it's not showing nothing.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. On the YouTube, you have nothing.
All right, it's your turn, Kate. Go.
Yes.
My turn for what?
Yeah, we're taking over your stream. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say I was like that with the Barry Morphew case. People hated me because I wasn't like Barry Morphew's guilty. Like I think they had no evidence at all. Like their case was shit. And
it was.
And that I'm not saying that he's innocent. I know there's definitely a high possibility he's guilty. I'm just saying there's not enough for me.
There's not enough evidence.
No.
Well,
Not even close.
let's do brass tacks here. How much evidence do we have on the Rodney case?
Not much at all.
Not much at all, right?
No, there's zero. If you
There's
take the
zero.
words out of it, there's zero.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I don't really agree with like saying it. Like, I don't really like talking about Sammy and Jagger and them. Like, there's nothing there for me to talk about them. Like, there's no. I mean, besides Sammy like lying a little bit, but I only think she did that because of like popularity. But like, I don't like speculating about them because I just don't see anything there. I know a lot of people do, but I don't.
I don't have my grumpy pants on right now, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But I think people make a big deal about Sammy and her little lies. Like, she's a bubble-headed California girl at 18.
What do you think about my take on? You were in that stream. What do you think about my take? How I said it
about the. Dude, you got to remind me, bro. I've been up all for like 40
like the shortcut home, like the logical, simple way.
Yes, exactly. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Were you watching that, Kate, or no?
Yeah, you talked about it on my channel. Here's my only thing.
Earlier today, it was really good though. On I don't know if she's one of your friends, Granny.
Yeah, Granny.
I watched a little bit. I like Granny. I watched a little bit of it, but I mod for Queen Bee and she was live at the same time, so I was kind of like.
Brittany was over there. Whatever. I got talked into it, but there's cases that like everybody gets on the cases where there's like all this mystery and conspiracy, but there's a couple cases. Remember the one kid who killed his parents and spread them out around in Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Just recently. Do you know which one I'm talking about? I forget the name.
Say it again. What about Tennessee?
He killed his parents, burned them in the fireplace.
God.
Whoa,
and the torso was and his ex-girlfriend's ranch, the tools and part of them were out there. They were all over the place. And then you had the other one where he put him in the tubs up in the bathroom and dismembered him, and that his mom's head was in the pot on the stove.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that was wild.
Them two, nobody talked about them. Yeah, Halderson. Them two cases, nobody even really touched on.
Joel Guy was the one who boiled his mom's head in the saucepan. I'm trying to find the other guy.
Yeah, they're like wicked, dude.
Why, man? Like, why do you got to do these things? Like, how far do you got to go to make sure someone is...
Joel Guy was the fireplace one, but there was another one where the guy killed his parents and it was just on trial. Halderson, yes.
Halderson's one. Yeah, but then there's another one. There's another one, too, that there was two of them almost right back to back.
Dude, Big Al, I still can't believe I didn't realize there was a connection with these cases. What are the odds of that? I watched the Halderson trial. I didn't cover it, but I watched it, but I just wasn't like into the trial enough to cover the trial. But I did watch it. But I've covered. I go back and forth. I do some cold cases. I do a lot of them that are on trial, and then ones that just pique my interest. Or sometimes people ask me like, "Oh, I really like this case" or whatever. But I'm gonna try and do some spooky ones for.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna do Amityville Horror. There's this one where this like kid was kept in a box for a long time, like Boy in a Box or something, like
Boy
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
The Cleveland abductions is pretty intriguing.
Oh man, that dude was ridiculous.
That was like 16-year period.
The Hispanic dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, yeah. In Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm Native and Hispanic. It's okay. We can talk about them.
He had multiple girls, Kate, that he had abducted, and one was the girl from the neighborhood, and he got him pregnant, and they had kids. He ended up with 3 or 4
with, like, the
of them.
tent in the backyard and shit. He had that like biggest tent and he had like long curly, like thick hair.
No, I don't think so.
He had him in his house upstairs. And then the other one where he had the girl in the shed out back, remember, with the skylight and he got her pregnant.
Was that the Amanda Berry? Oh, she escaped, didn't she?
Yes, Amanda Berry, exactly.
She
Yeah, I
put the
remember
kid. She rolled the
Yep.
kid up in the carpet and put him in. The guy put him in the back of the truck to get rid of him because she played like he was dead. That one.
That dude had long curly hair. The
Maybe
Amanda
I'll do
Berry.
some like serial killers like Zodiac and BTK and stuff.
Oh,
too, 'cause I love those
Zodiac!
movies.
You can't go wrong with Zodiac. That'll pull views for sure.
And
Everyone,
I'll dress up for Halloween too.
you got to dress your lizards up.
Oh yeah. Oh well, they're gonna.
A Zodiac mask on your yellow lizard, that big old yellow lizard. Oh,
Kate, you got to pull up, do a little live, do a short live with them people that just solved the one note or whatever you call it. You know how they just figured out what one meant? They deciphered it just recently.
Yeah, the Zodiac.
Well, there's 2 words that they couldn't figure out where they went, and I figured out where they went. So if you do a little live on that, I'll show you where they go.
Really? Well, yeah, I'll do that. I gotta think of some other ones. I'll try and do it for like the whole month of October. I'll do some. Tonight was fun though. I was excited that I actually got people excited over another case besides Kylie because I'm just so tired of talking about it.
I feel you. When I woke up and I saw something else on the TV, I was like, okay, this is perfect.
I was a little nervous because I know a lot of people want to, like, they love talking about it and they're like, it's the big thing here. Hey, Deathula, you missed it.
Have you heard of
Pike County massacres?
Have you heard of Ethan Crumley?
Oh yeah, the guy who shot up the school or whatever.
Yeah, that's 30 minutes from me or 20 minutes from me, not very far.
It's actually really close to a woman that I used to mod for before I had a channel. Did you ever hear the Critical K?
Critical K? No, she's right in that area.
Oh yeah, she's in Michigan somewhere. I forget what area in Michigan, but she's like really close to that school too.
Yeah, that's Oxford. That's about 20-25 minutes from me.
Yeah.
You about to shut the stream down, Kate?
Yeah, I'm about to. I have to pee really bad.
I was wondering why you were like moving back and forth like that.
In the chair. Oh my god! I try and like throw on videos occasionally so I can like jump up and go. I don't know how some people do like those 15-hour streams.
Oh my god! Hey, Zap Girl goes like 8 hours. That's a full work day.
It blows my mind because I can't do like 5 minutes before I'm like sitting here with like my legs crossed and like.
Listen, if you get doing them long lives and if you keep staying up at night, you're gonna be your eyes are gonna look like hers. So don't do it.
That's why I went when my phone went down. I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. She said, "Love the name, Scott. We all recognize your voice right away. We're like, this is Scott."
I know.
Conspiracy killer.
No, he should do ASMR.
Yeah, you do have a good voice, Scott. I'll give you that. It's like a common voice. I may have to turn on your drawing videos to go to bed.
I know. I get a lot of the like 65 plus ladies that are all in your chat saying I got a sexy voice and shit.
Damn. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good idea though.
I got a great idea though. Listen to this. The other night, I turned on this like 24-hour rain sound or whatever, and it just got me thinking like, I wonder how much this guy makes on YouTube to just play rain sounds like 24/7. Dude makes like $34K a month playing rain sounds. Like literally, he's got like 1 million followers and just plays rain sounds 24/7. He makes $34,000 a month. I'm like,
well, if you do your homework, and you like if you look at the huge channels, they don't go live. They're really super well done edited videos. Yeah, they don't go live. It's all
some of them even like turn off the comments and they just get like tons of like the kid videos. My son just flips through the videos. I mean, he watches like every kid channel there is has like over 1 million subscribers, and he just flies through them, and they probably get so many views because kids have such a short attention span and they just flick through them. He's a little older now, so he's getting into like the reptile ones and like Coyote Peterson. and fishing ones because he loves fishing. But meditation
Yeah,
music.
if my storytelling and drawing works, I'm gonna try a couple kid stories with drawing, like with crayons.
That's smart. That's a good idea. You've got a
And
lot
see
of
if,
views on them.
well, because then maybe if the adult ones work, then maybe the kid ones will work.
Mm-hmm. I have a hard time picking things to listen to sleep because I have like misophonia, and certain things like certain sounds drive me bananas. Like I hate when people like smack their leg. That sound, like.
I hate it when they. What do you call it? What do you call it when they snap? You snap the tongue off the roof of your mouth.
Like, yeah. Don't do it. I can't. Like it bothers. As soon as I hear someone smack their skin, it makes every nerve in my body angry. Like I get enraged and it hurts. Like I can't even explain it, but certain sounds are painful to me.
I just don't.
I don't even know how to make that make sense. And you know what else bothers me? When people whisper into microphones. Like the AS when they I hate it.
Yeah.
That might be worse than the skin smacking. I cannot because you can hear every little
bubble of spit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the ASMR videos where they're whispering. I'm like, I can't listen to it. I can't do it. It makes me so mad.
Hey, listen, it's not so bad.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You will get muted, all right? I can't help it, Nickel Sack, though. It's not my fault. It's literally, it's only certain sounds. It's not a lot of them, but just whispering in microphones and skin smacking are probably the worst. But it's just, for some reason, they'll frustrate me, and I can't explain the feeling. I have no control over it. It's just...
I didn't even know skin smacking was a thing. I'm gonna be watching out for it now.
Well, if you ever just sitting there and you're bored and you're going like this, or you like doing it to the beat of a song. A lot of people do it and don't even realize that they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like if you're sitting there listening to music, I do it even and don't realize I'm doing it. And it doesn't bother me when I do it, but if I hear someone else do it, I'll hear it right away and I'll just sing. Joe Biden's speeches must drive you nuts with all the whispering. Anything with whispering, I can't listen to it. I'll just turn it off. It just has to be into the microphone. There's this beer commercial where it's either Heineken or Yingling, but they pop the bottle in front of a microphone, and it's and then the person starts whispering in the microphone. And I didn't realize how angry that commercial makes me. I hate wet hair on my back. It makes me want to puke. Another thing I can't do is I can't sleep with my legs, with skin on top. I have to have a pillow between my legs, or I can't.
That's the thing for real.
Well, that's different.
Well, yeah, mine ain't because my skin. Mine's because of the bone on your side of your
I
ankle.
can do the whisper song.
I'm just old, so my hips need to be as standing as possible, and
I can do that one, Sarah, because it's a song. Where do you see my dick? You know what I mean? But if you're just talking and I can hear all the spit in your voice, that'll drive me. I do have to agree to a certain degree. I have TMJ too, and nerve damage due to shitty back surgery. So do certain sounds make your nerve I have some kind of nerve thing going on because I get tingling in my back sometimes, and in certain parts of my body I'll get weird tingling. And last month I got stung by a bee, and for a few weeks this little area on my lip was numb, from here to there for a whole month. It was the most bizarre thing ever. I don't know how it happened, but it scared the crap out of me. I thought I was having a stroke or something. Hey, that girl.
You're getting a whole bunch of people jumping in now.
Hey, listen, you're not gonna have a stroke.
You're gonna do the insomniac hour, okay?
She's not even listening.
You're gonna do the insomniac hour.
I know. Well,
but not Tony Dodge Light.
Oh yeah, don't call it that.
Oh, thank you, that girl. I wish I wouldn't have said that because now I was all like, "Hey, like, mommy whispering, mom, let me whisper in your ear." I like that song though because it's singing and whispering. It's different when you're like purposely talking and making like the ASMR. They purposely do that so you can hear their like lips pop and they're like that noise.
Oh,
bothers me.
what's the thing with the ears? Like the little ear microphones they
We
use?
got a super chat.
We
I
got
do
a
like
super chat.
I like that. I can. That doesn't bother
We
me.
got a super chat. Hey, Sammy. Oh man, you're so smart.
You'll have to go listen to one of my drawings and my videos when I get really super calm, like how I was. Remember Texas earlier? How I was like talking really super low.
Dude, that's why, like, literally, like when you like actually talk, I was like, "Oh, Big Al's on," and then maybe I'm retarded. I didn't mean to say that word. Maybe I'm just silly, but yeah. And then I was like, "Yeah, when you get calm, dude, your voice is crazy."
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Kate, go listen to when I'm drawing because it's way more calmer than it was
Wow.
earlier today. Yeah, it's really, it gets really like super soft and
He gets in the zone. As long
yeah,
as
I'm
it's
not.
not whispering, I can do it.
Well, it's not whispering, but it's like really, it's not very loud. Like you'll have to listen because I can't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
We got a super chat. Hey, there's a girl passing out on our stream. Let's get some super chats.
You do have a very soothing voice. Indeed. Yeah, you remind me of like a radio voice, but like not as like uppity as a radio voice, but like the sound of one.
Him or me?
No,
Yeah.
not me. Not me.
Like you give me like a late night radio voice. You know what I mean? Like the guy who does the late night jams.
Yeah. Welcome to Kate Does Crime.
My voice is.
I could do an opener for you.
Yes.
Do a voiceover.
Oh wait, now that y'all are here, I'll show you my little opening.
You know what I'm gonna do on mine. I'm gonna be like, let's play a game.
Let me know what y'all think. I
don't
need a
do that.
song for it though. I don't have a song for it yet, but I went with like the comic theme. And
Kate, I know someone who could do a song for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I need. Someone to do.
She's out in Pennsylvania right now.
Well, that's where I am.
I know, but she does music.
What do you guys think of the why is this taking so long? I might need to
It's up
shorten
there.
it up. There we go.
It's up. Yes.
But I need like a little song to go with it so that
Yes.
Isn't it cool though? Like the comic
Yes.
theme?
I like the edit.
And my lizard.
Oh, the yellow lizard.
Dive into the latest cases.
What's his name?
Follow the current trials.
Meet my lizard.
Hang with our friends. Oh, I'm behind because I'm watching my TV screen.
No, you
and
gotta
meet
watch
my
the
lizards.
StreamYard.
My phone's like on fire, so I had to put it by a fan.
My
I'm
phone
not
was
gonna use it. Well, I guess I could put like the YouTube sounds to it, but I thought it was so cool, the comic theme, like everything all comic-y.
I might be able to hook you up with a custom song if you want.
Yeah,
I'll send you a link to her channel. She's a
right.
singer-songwriter.
Best seizure I've had all week. I'm sorry. I should have known that because I've had them myself.
Big Al, man.
It's not fun.
That dude cracks me up.
Is it really that? Well, it is colorful, I guess. It's not blinky though. It's just like colorful and things moving a lot. But I tried. It's not like stroby,
No, it's not. It's not stroby.
Yeah, we've been on oh, Eve, I sent you my email in chat. Did you get it, or do you want me to send it now? Here, I'll just send it to you now. There you go. All right. Well, I am really gonna end this now because
please.
But
please.
I'm gonna make a video for. Well, I'm a mid video. I'm halfway done my Pike County video, and then tomorrow, if you guys want to see me on case word studies, hold on, I'll drop the link.
Subscribe, like, and hit that bell if you're in the chat.
Please. keep forgetting to put subs only. I should be putting that on because we've been having trolls lately, and just to protect people
Really?
in the chat. Yeah, we've been having like doxing trolls.
No. Why? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. There's this guy who's been. He's like I feel like I'm gonna. I feel like I'm gonna speak this guy into existence. I
Don't
hope
say
not.
the P word.
Yeah, he's a bomber. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Okay.
And a peen bomber.
Okay. Oh.
And I've been targeting him by before, so he's used my name and tricked people into thinking it was me.
Oh.
And then goes up on their panel.
No.
And then just shows everything.
No.
Yeah. And he's like,
no.
And like, listen to this. So I was listening to the I was modding for somebody at the time, and they thought it was me. And they're like, Kate, we could see inside your living room. And I'm laying in like the pitch black dark in my bedroom, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did I hit a button? Like, did I accidentally like did they see me? You know? So I'm like getting my phone, making sure I'm not on. I'm like, oh my God, that's not my living room. That's not me. And I'm like typing in chat, that's not me. And they're all like, Kate, what are we looking at? Like, what are you doing? And then he just walks there, like nothing on, just walks in front of the camera. And no, don't kill my conspiracies. And yeah. And then they're like, oh my God. And then this lady goes live about it like a day or two later. And it was like, oh, this is Kate's husband, like peeing bombing everybody. And like the guy's from Australia. Like, I don't even know the guy. But anyway, he has looked up some people, and he makes troll accounts, and he like puts people's addresses out there and stuff. And
if you guys come to my house, I have many 1911s and 9mm that will take care of you.
If you come to my house, just bring food.
Well,
it's like
he's from Australia. He just hops on panels and just pretends to be people. And then when they're like, "Oh, Kate's coming up," you know, and then they let you on panel, and then he has like a camera just facing his living room, and then just pops out showing it all. And so now a lot of people, which I should have when they make an overlay, right? And when people come on panel, they put the overlay up on the screen. And make sure it's them first, and then once they know it's them, they take the overlay down just to be safe.
You trusted me right away. That was strange.
Yeah. I probably.
You probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, but he'll take your avatar and he'll take your name and come up as you, so like it'll look just like you. You know what I mean? Because
Do you have to let people up on panel when they're backstage? Because I noticed when I went backstage, it just automatically brought me up.
She doesn't have to.
I have to let people on.
Yeah.
I have to like allow you on. Like if
you do, okay.
I get a little annoyed right away when you come back there, so usually I just notice right away.
But you didn't even know who I was because I didn't have the same picture and I had a different name.
I'm a little too trusting.
You get annoyed.
But you get annoyed. Could have been anyway.
I know.
You're like, get him on.
Yeah, he came on. Listen to this. He came on my panel one time as Sarah, and he had this picture of some chick with her shirt off, just boobs as his avatar.
Oh,
and we were like, the heck, you know, and I didn't even realize the avatar right away. And then I realized it after I put it on and it was up on the big screen, and he did the same thing to Brittany's channel, but on Brittany's channel, he even had a worse picture. He had an avatar of this like naked guy and like a little girl. It was gross. And she put him up on the screen, and I was like, Britt, and she put it down real quick, and then she had to private the live because, you know, you can't have that stuff on your screen. Well, so now he's just targeting people and trolling, and so I should be putting subscribers only mode on every night, but I forget.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you'll have to remind me if I forget.
Yeah, don't.
Well, and if people, you know, and if people want to chat, they'll sub to you to chat too.
Yeah. Oh, I only put it on
You know
for
what I
like a minute. Even putting it on for a minute helps. You know
I've
what I
only
mean?
subbed to Kate for it's been I don't even know. It was quick. It's been like maybe yesterday or today. But I just found you through Brittany.
Yeah.
To be, you know, completely fair. But sub to Kate Does Crime.
I found y'all through. It just keeps expanding though, because it was Alex Erickson, and then it was CET, and then it turned into Kate, and now it's allegedly with Brittany, and then it just keeps going, and then pretty soon there's
Mm.
going to be like 50 women, and it's just going to be nuts. Yeah,
Yeah, we all network together. So you'll end
there's
up
a bunch of you.
at one or the
Smart.
others.
It's smart. Now
I'm
let's
glad-
go.
I'm just
So
glad I
Kate
found
can
y'all
go to the
again after
bathroom.
Wells.
Yeah, I'm going. Bye, Kate. I'll talk to you
All
tomorrow.
right. Bye,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you,
Nice
Kate.
chatting,
Good night,
nice chatting
everyone.
with you, Texas.
It was awesome.
Thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
coming. Yes,
All right.
Texas. I love that you come up. Now you can come up all the time because you
Really?
got the, you got the initial panel thing over with. So now you'll feel more
You're
comfortable.
broke in now, is what she's
Hey.
saying.
Broke you in.
My
This is
phone
the
was
first
acting
time on
crazy
panel?
though. Yeah,
Am I
yeah,
responsible for your first time on panel?
yeah. You broke it. Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
broke the panel, Cherry.
Wait, we don't go there. We don't go
Sorry.
there. I'm
I'm
just kidding.
terrible.
I love
All
you.
right, later,
Okay.
y'all.
Later.
Good night, guys.
Night. I'm hopping off. I don't know how to do this.
Just hit leave studio.
Where
See
is
it?
it?
The little X, the red
Oh
X.
yes. All right. Sorry.
No, I can see like a gray hair on my head right here. Ooh, it's like silver and shiny. I'm gonna have silver glittery hair. Silver glittery hair when I get older. It looks pretty cool. Brittany broke mine. Yeah, once you come up, it's not too bad. You have hundreds. I've had this one since I was like 16. My dad used to make fun of me and call me Lily Monster. Say like I got a little Lily Monster strand. All right, good night, guys. I was too nervy. You weren't nervy the second time you came up. You were fine. See, it's just like having a conversation with your friends. I just got mine at 50. Well, good. Well, I only have that one little one, I think. I haven't looked hard. But good night, everybody. See y'all later. And come to Case Word Studies tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock sharp. We'll be talking about that trial we talked about tonight.